What's up? Welcome in to Hook and Batter, episode 12. Like we talked about last week, there was a sports equinox this past Monday, and I think we're going to talk about all four major sports as well. No, we're not. We're not going to talk hockey, but we're going to substitute it with college football, so it counts.
That's right.
We will start with the most topical. Let's get into some MLB. Obviously, World Series happening. Rangers kind of a wagon, 3-1. It's Wednesday right now, so it could be over by the time this is even out. Scherzer and the Dolis are out for the rest of the World Series. Maybe it makes a difference, but it didn't last night in Game 3 or Game 4. Rangers obviously put 11 on the board. Diamondbacks never really stood a chance. They tried to make a comeback, but couldn't do it. All these games have kind of sucked, except for Game 1, which was awesome. But other than that,
yeah, if you could sprinkle some of that magic that you channeled 2 weeks ago to manifest a good series, Ben, that'd be great.
yeah, I mean it's been bad since Game 1. It's been bad, but I give a lot of credit to the Rangers. They're doing all this with still obviously Adolis and Scherzer getting hurt again in this series, so they're navigating injuries as they go. I saw some people mad that the Diamondbacks did a bullpen game for Game 4, but I don't know what you wanted them to do.
Yeah,
Like I'm finally happy that depth is like important in the series, like they were in the championship series as well. But like we talked about in the DS and sort of the 5-game series where you just had to run out 2 starters and hope they got hot. The World Series is showing that you need a little bit more than that, and I think that's a good thing. So
yeah,
I hope the Diamondbacks make it a series, but I think it would be pretty well deserved for the Rangers to win it.
Yeah. We had hollow beams yesterday, so during the game. So we had trick-or-treaters. We were out doing all that stuff out front. And then I was looking forward to watching the game when I came back in. And it was like 5-0 or something. I'm just like, I'm not going to even bother.
Yeah.
Like, that's sad.
Yeah.
It does stink. It feels like a lot of the World Series have been like that recently, too.
Yeah.
In recent years.
It's tough because
5 games, 6 games.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. It's definitely last year was decent.
Last year was all right. 6 games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough with baseball sometimes because it's so momentum based and it's so, it's like in the NBA, if you get an even matchup, you're going to get probably 5 out of the 7 games are going to be within like a 5-point, difference. In baseball, it's like sort of whoever shows up to play that night and whatever pitcher is better, you're probably going to get a blowout one way or the other, especially when the stakes are highest. Rangers have won all the road games though, which is crazy. 10-0 on the road.
Yeah, isn't that a record? That's
I
a
think
record, right?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's wild.
It is.
And we'll talk about the latter later. But I saw our friend, I think it was Justin, mention that if you just bet the Rangers on this 10 games, you'd have 10K. So
That's crazy.
You have more than that because they're
probably more
dogs. A
dogs.
lot of them. Sure.
probably only like 8 games.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah. It's very impressive what they've been able to do. Hopefully the Diamondbacks can win one for their fans, send them home happy, and see what you can do in Texas. But we'll see what happens tonight. Would expect Texas to close it out, but Gallen on the mound for the Diamondbacks. He's obviously been their rock all year, so they got a little bit of hope. But it's gonna be some tough sledding.
Did you see who's pitching for the Rangers?
I did not, but
Evaldi. It's Evaldi. Yeah.
Yeah, been good.
He's been great.
Hey, the Diamondbacks got to him in Game 1.
Yep.
But like that was the last inning, right? That he pitched. Like he pitching a gem.
No, he gave up like 3 early, and then he sort of.
I saw he had like 8 strikeouts or something.
Yeah.
So he's dealing. It's just
kind of, yeah. But I think we talked about it. The Diamondbacks just don't hit a lot of home runs, and I think that's costing them quite a bit because they've been getting a lot of games with a lot of hits. It's tough to make those innings happen in the playoffs. So. Like I said, I think they in 2001 when they won the World Series, I do think they were down 3-1, so maybe they can channel some of that again. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Definitely, we'll be tuning into that after we record. Maybe a little bit during. I know we're sweating some action at the moment. But, we might be switching to the World Series at some point, but we'll get into some NBA just for a hot second because we think we got to mention that Harden did get his wishes and got out of Philly. And worked his way to the Clippers. Why did the Clippers do this?
For no one.
I will. I'll ponder that to you guys. Why the Clippers would do this?
FOMO, right? I mean, they thought they had a chance back in 2020, 2021, that era, and now they got 3 injury-prone former good starts.
4.
4. Yeah, that's true. So I don't even know if I don't know what they're thinking.
I think you guys are being crazy. they got him for almost nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as it works, that's an absolute super team. As long as it works.
But I don't
Right.
think I don't think it's going to.
It just
work.
never does in
Well,
the NBA.
I was watching the Clippers last night, and they just do this thing already where, like, Kawhi was playing awful. He was, like, over 7 in the first half. And then Paul George then steps in and just takes over. So they have that capability now, and then adding one more person, 3 people have been superstars in their day, 4 if you count Westbrook, who was also cooking, actually. That was awesome to watch, too. It's just like when you have that capability, one person's down to like plug someone else in and have them be the hot hand and then switch off.
My issue with it, and I've mentioned this a couple times, I don't know about it on the pod, but I watched the Clippers last year, and it was like I was trying to get into NBA, like on a nightly basis, watch it. And so I'm watching Clippers game. I think we had bets in it, whatever. And they were down. And it just turns into my turn, your turn, even if they're not hot. And no one else touches the ball. And they just all right, it's your turn, it's your possession. And I think adding another player to that just adds another. And now Harden gets his assist. Don't get me wrong; he's a little bit more of a passer nowadays, so it helps. But it just turns into this: okay, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. Oh my God, who's taking the last shot? I have no idea. And then no one gets hot. And then
Like what happened with Luka and Kyrie.
exactly.
Yeah,
true.
like that'd be my criticism too.
That's something they definitely have to figure out. But
Yeah.
but I mean,
Like if
you can't say no to that.
Right. I mean, for them, it's like
Sure.
a no-brainer. Like
I guess
They
it
get it.
hasn't
gave up
worked.
Nick Batum and like someone else.
Marcus
crazy.
Morris,
Yeah.
Robert Covington. They gave up all their wings.
and I think like a second or something.
A couple picks later on. Yeah.
right to swap 2028 first round picks
I
or
think
something
so.
insane.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't like it. Again, it's just with the NBA. If they all get their egos out of it and they just like you got 2 on the court at once, 2 on the other on when like in a rotation, like it can work. I think it can always work in the NBA. But I just don't think those guys are going to be able to do that.
I mean, Russell Westbrook airballing the last shot with Kawhi dropping to his knees in Game 2 is a tough look. I'm going to be honest. So I don't know how that team already is. And did you see the video of Harden walking in the locker room today?
No.
It wasn't good. It was only Russell Westbrook and Terrence Mann in there, and Russell was like kind of saying what's up, like getting up and like welcoming him back in, and Terrence Mann never looked up.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't really know how the team's gonna love Harden being there. And look, I think they got him too early because by June is he gonna want to play basketball?
That's fair.
I don't know.
And he was starting to get this development with Embiid where they would do the pick and roll, pick and pop, and everything like that, and that won't be there with them.
No.
I think I think hopefully he can adjust that. That's why he's getting all the assists. They were all going to Embiid.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen with Zubac. I like Zubac,
Yeah.
but no, I think they'll be really good. I think they'll be contender. Hopefully they can all stay healthy. But we'll see.
That's the only part that I liked about it is, well, they're not all going to stay healthy, so at least now they have depth or
true.
superstar depth to be able to
Yeah.
like get some wins when Kawhi or Paul George don't play.
Yeah.
because that will happen.
They do have the depth behind them too. Like you said, Terrence Mann, he's okay. I don't love Terrence Mann, but
I like Terrence Mann.
he's pretty good. But they have Norman Powell, who's been great.
Mm-hmm.
He's been disgusting off the bench. He averages like 15
Yeah.
to 20 games. So yeah, I like them a lot. We'll see.
I mean, I think
We
Philly
figured
did
it
fine
out.
too. Harden wasn't going to play for them, didn't to pick up. I mean, Robert Covington was first team All NBA defense with them in 2019. Maybe they can rediscover.
I hate Robert Covington.
So they definitely picked up guys that can't score the ball, which is tough. But they might be a great defensive team now. I don't know.
It's what could have been with Philly. I feel like
A few times.
Yeah,
a lot now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Simmons and
yeah.
They had a Jimmy Butler era.
they had Jimmy. I forgot all about
yeah,
that.
the Jimmy Butler
They
era.
did.
They've had like
Jimmy
3 different
Butler.
eras.
That
and none of them
stinks.
worked out.
That's wild.
And with Doc, like they should.
Yeah.
Well, Doc might be bad.
Yeah, that's also true.
But it'll definitely be. I don't know how when Harden's gonna be ready to play. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but it'll definitely be interesting. Did you see the? And I'm butchering his name, but the Furkan Korkmaz.
Korkmaz?
Yes.
Korkmaz
Korkmaz
What
part of
about him?
this.
No.
He's demanded a trade from Philly 3 different times.
Sure. Don't know why. It doesn't
and
matter.
They have not granted it.
Okay.
And then in this instance, he tried to put himself in the trade, and both teams said no.
That's
no.
so bad.
Does that mean Philly wants him? Like they want to keep him?
I guess. I don't really know. Like why you?
It could just be it's not even worth our time.
I guess.
He doesn't play.
Right. So like,
Yeah,
why
like-
wouldn't you? I guess you can't find a trade partner for that. But I don't know, someone to send some random
That's terrible.
35 pick. I don't know.
He plays exactly like Niang. Jordan Niang does.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, not good.
It's just a funny part of it. Just like, I don't know.
Did
we'll
we-
see.
Did they kick a field goal or did they miss a field goal?
I think they did not score somehow.
Who, Bowling Green?
Yeah.
They went 4 on 4th. Didn't work.
Ouch.
Yikes. It never works with Maction.
Log game.
A lot of game. But yeah, so NBA obviously very, very early in the season, nothing to be drawn other than some teams are very bad. But I hope that Scoot Henderson figures it out because I think he can be really good, but it's been a rough start. That's my only takeaway from the NBA.
Ball.
I think it was a pass. It's going to be very tough to...
Oh,
Show
they
me the
dropped
money.
it.
Yeah, it was a screen, and he dropped it. It was kind of behind him.
Okay.
That's ruling on the field. Take that.
Yeah, Scoot looks good.
Well-
Kind of, like the way they I like the way he plays in space.
Yeah,
But yeah, he hasn't been shooting it great.
yeah. So, that's all I got.
That team is a mess. I hate to say it, but Jeremy Grant doesn't look great, and he's taking a few too many shots.
Hopefully he hits the ladder tonight. That's all that matters.
That's true. That's true.
I was like, why do I smell paint?
Oh, we got a
marker.
masterpiece cooking up over there.
Yeah, we do.
I'm excited to see. But, yeah, Simon's being hurt for them is tough. So, you know, we'll see. It's way too early for me to care about
That's
NBA
true.
standings or anything like that. I like to look at how individual players are doing.
You don't need care till the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no way, dude. The in-season tournament, super important.
That's right.
I'm confused.
I am super confused too because the title game doesn't count for your standing.
That's the only one that doesn't,
That's just confusing.
and they play it in Vegas, I think, which is fun.
That is fun.
It's true.
When is that?
It's in like
It's soon.
It's in like I think end of
The-
November.
The first week of December, maybe.
I think so.
Maybe when
Ooh.
I'm in Las Vegas. That would
There
be
you go.
fun.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
So I'm going to Asheville next week for our anniversary, and I just realized I was looking at Maryland basketball schedule. And they're playing a tournament in Asheville while we're there.
Fine.
I'm just like, oh boy, I don't know how I can get to that, but might have to figure something out. But good luck going to a NBA in-season championship in Vegas.
Have you ever been to an NBA?
Fair enough.
She might. I mean, she might want to do it.
It'd be cool. It would probably be T-Mobile. T-Mobile looks
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And that's right. That's right by you.
That's right by us.
That's
Yeah.
true. All right,
It'd
maybe
be the short walk.
you can do it.
Yeah, when we were at Park MGM, it was like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fine, we'll go back to Vegas.
Fine.
We were talking about just making a tradition for March Madness, but we're going to see Fall Out Boy.
We can still do it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll look at it. We'll look at it.
That was electric. March Madness. there
Yeah,
was
March Madness was
insane.
awesome. man. I liked it more than the NFL. Not
Me
gonna
too.
lie.
Yeah.
Than NFL.
Yeah,
No
well,
doubt.
it's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
Although we left in the middle of March Madness because we were like, oh, let's go play blackjack for
There was
20
so
minutes.
much.
And then we never went back.
Yeah.
Well, you just had to be there for the beginning and have one good thing happen.
Yeah.
And we were on Maryland, which
Yeah.
was huge.
Yes, that was a big deal.
And the Furman game was awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, you'll have the people obviously on the other side of it, but with the NFL, everyone's so polarized with their
Yeah.
picks. But with that, everyone's like, upset. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go
and,
nuts.
And NFL, you got like sharps in the room and like people with way too much money on it and think they know a lot. And then there's actual guys that probably do know a lot and they're sitting in the
Yeah.
VIP section. And
True.
it's a whole. Everyone that's there for March Madness is there to party.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
a lot more fun.
And it's free. I mean, I know the food cost money, the beer cost money, whatever. But the Treasure Island thing was awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the
it was
food-
cool,
The
man.
food was pretty good.
It was.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
Yeah.
I would recommend everybody do it.
It's,
You know?
yeah.
I can't. Like, what else? What other events would be
Well, there was that
nearly
old,
as good?
the older couple who said they've been going for like 30
For,
like,
years
what?
or
Yes,
something.
30 years. Yeah.
I want to go to Vegas for a big boxing match or a big UFC
Yes,
fight.
that'd
Like,
be
that'd be
definitely
so much
that'd be
fun.
that'd be cool.
But other than that, I can't think of anything else. You would like March Madness is the best.
The F1 would be cool. But you
I
said
don't
it's a
even
mess?
know, like, because they're putting like I don't know if you've seen it, but they're putting screens up along the bridges so you can't even see down on the race if you don't have a ticket
What?
and you're just walking from casino to casino.
Huh.
And the tickets are so expensive, and then you're obviously only going to be able to sit and see like one part of the race. So like, yeah, it'd be very cool to see, but I think like just trying to get around the rest of the weekend
It
would
should be a
suck.
mess. Yeah.
Are the hotel rooms like? Do they jack up the price?
Oh,
of that
yeah.
too,
yeah,
I'd imagine?
It's bad.
The strip view rooms are so expensive.
I already looked for the Super Bowl too. Just like I was like, just in case.
Yeah.
I had a decent room for like $150 a night for Super Bowl.
That's not bad
Wow.
because they're like 600 now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, I should have just taken it.
You should.
Wow. Because go baby.
Oh baby, we
What a
love
stiff
that.
arm.
Nice.
But yeah, I was like, oh, I'll just go. Like, I'll just go to the Super Bowl. And I was like, wait, Super Bowl tickets might be like $5,000. So
I was hoping it was just comped because then you can just reserve it. Like
Yeah.
if it happens,
Yeah.
if the Ravens win the Super Bowl, I got a place to stay. But
guess not.
nope.
All right, that's enough Vegas talk. We'll talk later. Let's move into college football. And we did get our first look at the college football playoff rankings, which I think is a good test of where we are. Obviously, some people would say it doesn't matter, but I think it kind of does, just to see where things are shaking out at the moment. And I think it gives a little bit more context to what we've been talking about. So I think we're just going to kind of give a view of those and talk about what happened this past weekend as we do that.
Mm-hmm.
So Ohio State is number one. I get it, but at the same time, they're not number one.
Yeah.
So they obviously have the wins against Penn State and Notre Dame. So from that perspective, I can understand they probably have the two best wins, but they're
No.
just not.
They look awful. Let's be honest. Their wins were ugly. They
Yeah.
were super ugly. They were also arguably, I mean, Penn State, they were better than Penn State, but Notre Dame looked like the better team that
Mhm.
whole game. So, and how much is, I mean, I get Notre Dame, I think, is good, but like, and they were in South Bend, so it's like,
Yeah. Well, that makes the Ohio State win a little bit
yeah.
better
Right.
going on the road. I'm glad, in a way, I'm glad they're there, but I feel like because they're there, a certain other team should be higher. If that, like, I feel like for Ohio State, they went resume based, and then for like Georgia's 2 and Michigan's 3, they were like, well, yeah, but Florida State has the best win out of everybody.
That's true.
Beating LSU, who is 14th according to the college football playoff.
That's true.
Is the best win out of anyone on the table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Washington.
kinda sad.
Washington beat Oregon.
And then Washington's 5,
Right,
and they
yeah.
beat Oregon.
That's
and so you got Florida State at 4 and Washington at 5.
Yeah.
And those two have better wins than anybody else, but they don't get the credit right now. Obviously, it's going to shake itself out because Ohio State and Michigan can't go undefeated.
Yeah,
get it.
I think if one thing cleared itself up, we're not going to get both of them. I don't think we'll get both Ohio State and Michigan. I don't think that's likely.
I don't know.
Like a one-loss Big 12 winner, they'll probably give it to.
I see.
I don't think Big 12 gets in, but I think just in comparison to one-loss non-Big 10 winner,
It'll be very interesting but they're setting the precedent a little bit because they're showing you that they don't value Oklahoma a ton, dropping them all the way to 9, which I
Yeah.
have an issue with because they beat Texas and Texas is ahead of them.
It's true.
Which,
That's an ugly loss.
oh yeah,
That's an ugly
Oklahoma
loss,
losing to
Doug.
Kansas is bad.
That's bad.
Kansas is not bad, but like
Yeah.
you should win the game.
Right.
So but
Yeah, and
when you play the game on the field, that's the result. And
Yeah.
they played on neutral. So, like,
Right.
that is what it is. I don't care that – I understand that Texas beat Alabama, but Texas is ahead of Alabama, and Oklahoma doesn't get the credit for beating Texas. I have
that's
issues
fair.
with that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Again, it'll work itself out. I get it. But,
Right.
Who else has Oklahoma beat?
I mean, nobody.
Nobody else.
That's got to take part of it too.
But even then, I mean, he's right. They beat Texas. Yeah. Like, why don't you do Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama?
That's what and no one – I don't think
And no one
anyone-
would bat an eye
Yeah.
at that because Alabama hasn't really beat anyone. I mean, they
Right.
beat Ole Miss, right?
Ugly.
Ugly game, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. And Ole Miss, are they still in it? They're still in it.
Kind of. They're number 10. They're number 10. They're
I
there.
won't rule them out. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's not as muddy as I thought it would be. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. It's pretty clear cut. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean –
not clear cut, but I think we see Florida State's probably going to get in
as long as
unless they fall on their
Okay,
face.
as long as they go undefeated, they're going to get in. But as soon as they lose, they'd be done. Even if they,
Right, yeah, I
as
think
a
so,
one-loss
too.
ACC champion,
They're not going to get in.
done,
They'll give it to the Big 12, I
which is
think.
dumb because again, they beat LSU, who is 14th. It's
Yes,
like,
that's true.
They have a great win. But their loss would be a pretty bad one, I would guess, if it were to happen. So, and they also beat Duke, and I know Duke is falling
Duke's-
off,
yeah.
but they beat him when Riley Leonard was halfway healthy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my biggest gripes in terms of what is going forward. Like you said, I think it is a little bit clearer. You're going to get the Big Ten champion unless Michigan gets sanctioned, which I have more to add to that story because it's one of my favorite college football stories ever.
Okay.
The Big Ten champion is going to get in. SEC champion is going to get in, and then undefeated Florida State. If not, you might get a Big 12, and then maybe both Pac-12, depending on how Washington finishes. Well, I guess you wouldn't. If they both finish one loss, could Washington and Oregon both get in?
You would need a 2-loss Big Ten team, and then you would need Florida State to lose. Like if Florida State's undefeated, they'll get in over a one-loss Pac-12 team.
This is all shaping up for Alabama to get in, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what they want. They want Alabama to get in. Because that's the real killer, though. That's what really would muddy everything is if Alabama wins the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to fit Georgia in there. They would want to fit one-loss Georgia in there.
Yeah.
Which would really stink, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think one-loss Georgia would get in over one-loss Big 12.
Absolutely.
One-loss Pac-12 is hard to justify, though.
It is, but it would happen.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like they might edge out Florida State. They would kick them out.
I think. I don't know.
You know?
I don't know if you can count
undefeated.
An undefeated conference champion. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Not for Pac-12, right?
For Georgia, we're saying.
For Georgia,
well, you're saying
one-loss
also
Georgia,
kick out Pac-12. You're saying they'd be ahead of Pac-12 also then.
Yeah, but like the rankings to me, what shocked me about it is 5 and 6, Washington and Oregon. They really like the Pac-12 this year. Yeah. They really put a lot of value into that.
Well, I actually went the other way. I think they agree. They see what I saw, and what we're talking about is Oregon looks like the best Pac-12 team, but they happen to lose on the field to Washington.
Right.
They're not valuing Washington. Like
they don't think.
about.
Yes, they don't. Yeah, that's fair.
They beat number 6.
Right.
Why are they out of the playoffs right now?
Yeah, I guess because they're thinking they stink and they've played terribly, so they're going to lose eventually.
I get that.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Like to me, the only team that hasn't beaten a soul is Michigan.
It's Michigan, right? Well, they're gonna give it to them because of last year.
But they gave up 51 to TCU.
Yeah, I know.
And they're stealing. Like they could have made a statement and being like, "Hey, what you're doing isn't right. You haven't played anybody. Right now, you're on the outside looking in."
It's true.
But they chose not to. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna get clearer. Oregon did go to Utah this past week. They smashed them. Obviously, number 6 now. I gave them up 30-1 last week. They're down to 12-1. No big deal. Helps offset the Oklahoma loss a little bit because Oklahoma looks terrible. Oklahoma does have for now, the last bedlam ever for now-ish, kind of. Going to Oklahoma State this week. That's going to be a tough one. They're probably going to lose.
And then they're dead.
And then they're dead, which sucks.
Ouch. They already do feel a little dead, don't they?
They just don't look great. They kind of it's like they sold their soul to beat Texas, and then it's almost like Washington. Washington sold their soul to beat Oregon, and then the last 2 weeks have not looked great. They can get right back in it, but the Big 12 all of a sudden is playing better ball.
Yeah.
Kansas State, I think, might beat Texas this weekend.
They might,
especially if Ewers remains out, which it looks like he will.
Did the backup play this week?
Yeah, they blew out BYU. BYU's not very good, but Kansas State's playing really well right now. So very interested to see what happens there. No one from the Big 12 might make the championship game with less than 2 losses. So Big 12 might cannibalize itself. But awesome weekend ahead of us because, like I said, the 2 Big 12 games. Washington goes to USC. Obviously, USC looks horrendous and almost lost to California.
Yep.
But they won. Barely. Put up 50.
Yeah.
But Washington obviously has to win that game.
Yeah.
And then we also have Mizzou at Georgia and LSU at Bama, which is going to be awesome. Hopefully LSU can take care of Bama so we don't have to care about them anymore. But,
yeah, it's true.
LSU is one of the top-ranked 2-loss teams. I think they've been playing really well lately.
Yep.
So that game should be a lot of fun. Bama's starting to find their stride. Missouri's been good, which I'm scared to say because Georgia.
Yeah, I know. Every time we do this with Georgia. But Georgia hasn't looked. I mean, they've looked better though. Georgia has looked better.
Yeah.
But if they lost, that'd be great. If Georgia lost, that'd be great. I'm going to say it.
It'd be interesting. It would throw a wrench into everything.
Right. They're still going to fit in an SEC team, but then it's like, okay, the door opens for one conference to get one team, which I think would be good.
Air Force.
Air Force.
They're number 25.
There's another one. Who's the other one? Don't tell me. There's another undefeated one. It's not just Air Force.
Is there?
Yes. Hold on. Let me look at the rankings. There's one more. I think it's 20. Not Tulane.
No, they lost.
Sadly.
There's one more. Hold on.
I don't know. JMU is undefeated.
JMU is undefeated.
But they're not
Boo.
eligible.
Why? They have a scandal?
No, when you transfer from FBS to FCS or when you transfer up from D2 to D1, you can't play in the postseason for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Which
Very
makes no
very
sense.
dumb.
No.
Which is so dumb.
Yeah.
That's
It
fine,
might have been
though.
them.
It's fine for this scenario.
Yeah, it might have been them. Yep. Sorry. It was them.
Mm.
It was JMU. You nailed it.
It's so dumb. That I get if you like you go from D1 to D2. Like I could see not doing that because you might be just trying to stack wins.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to go play at a higher level, I really don't get why you can't. Like if you're beating everybody, good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're JMU, you were playing in the CAA 2 years ago, like
Right.
and you're undefeated now. It's like give them a shot.
Let's not say we did. Cool
enough.
stadium, though.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out your Arizona Wildcats, by the way. Killed Oregon State's hopes.
I like their quarterback. I can't remember. It's Filati?
Yeah.
Filati?
Yeah. It's something to that effect.
Yeah, he balls.
Yeah, they Oregon State went down there and found out that their season's over.
Yeah.
But Oregon State can still play spoiler the rest of the way. So.
Yes, they can.
That's what Arizona's doing.
Yeah, Arizona really is. It's very funny. Like, good for them. Good for them to keep that together. Also, how bad is North Carolina?
Oh.
So bad.
That was awful.
It's just back-to-back weeks, just doing nothing. But
Back-to-back weeks of me taking their money line when they're down.
you're the problem.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that I had a little bit more information on the Michigan case.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen what's been happening?
I have not. You're filling me in now, Ben.
This is a hilarious story. Like, the documentary is going to be so funny.
Oh, yeah.
So Connor Stallions, we talked about last week. So there's the new reports that came up that there was photos of a guy that looked very much like him on the sidelines wearing Central Michigan gear on the sidelines of Central Michigan during a game when they played Michigan State. And he's wearing sunglasses and a hat at night. And there's some videos that come out where it looks like a blue light comes on the sunglasses.
Oh, the camera light?
And so there's one video where like the play is coming at him and there's like guys like diving out of bounds and he like just puts his head down because he's about to be on camera. So like it's not confirmed that it was him, and there's definitely a chance it's not. But at the same time, CMU, the athletic director at CMU was like, yeah, we're looking into this. Where like if he was a real staffer, wouldn't they just be like, no, that's Carl.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't they
that's
just put it
true.
to bed?
Yeah.
So, and the head coach of Central Michigan worked at Michigan. His name's Jim McElwain. He worked at Michigan in 2019. So there's a connection there. It looks like it could be him. It's very odd behavior for someone on the sidelines.
Yeah.
You should look at the videos because it's hysterical. It seems like it's a real thing, and it seems bad, and this guy seems crazy. And I don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to happen this year, but this is just an all-time story.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's pretty damning. So he's on their sideline spying on Michigan State.
Yes.
Okay. That's bad. That's
Cool
next level
sunglasses.
bad.
You know, I've always
Someone
thought
found them
about that.
online. They were Ray-Bans with camera in them.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I would like to see the footage. I like to see how clear it is.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
That always intrigues me.
Another part of it is that Ryan Day, the coach of Ohio State, his brother, I think, or brother-in-law, I can't remember, owns a private investigating fund or firm. So people are saying that
That's so
he put
funny.
his brother up to the task to find out what was going on because he was mad that they lost back-to-back years. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, the documentary about this is going to be very fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen in regards to this year or in the future. I think they're going to get banned for a while from the playoffs. I just don't know if it's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
But-
Well, they've been kind of quiet about it, too. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, you'd think, like, they would have announced, like, what move they're going to be making.
I think they suspended Stallions, but they haven't, like Michigan did. But
Yeah.
they haven't done anything else, obviously. And I think whenever Harbaugh gets asked about it, he just starts talking about some random quotes. And doesn't really say anything, but
He's so gone.
he wants. There was a report. I think a report came out that he was like, yeah, the NFL is not going to welcome him in if he seeks sanctity in the NFL. And I'm like, well, they will.
Well,
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the NFL will be better with him in it.
And I'm not saying he leaves because he'll get pushed out or found guilty. I think he'll just leave on his own.
Oh yeah, he's going to leave as soon as
And
possible.
how's the NFL not going to take him?
Right.
Yeah.
Because the interim coach for the Raiders now, which we'll get to obviously, his name is Antonio Pierce, and literally last year he was the scapegoat for recruiting scandals at Arizona State, and went straight to the NFL, became an assistant coach, and now he's the head coach in like 16 months. So I think the NFL will be just fine with having Jim Harbaugh be on the sidelines again.
Yeah.
But that's the big. I think that's the big question when it comes to the playoff is like, will they allow Michigan to play? Will they not? How will that? If they're undefeated, how does that shake everything out? So I think that's the big dark cloud that surrounds the playoff at the moment. But I can't get enough of the story.
That's
I
fair.
hope stuff keeps coming out about it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a future thing to me.
I think so.
Sounds
too.
like something to deal with in the offseason.
Yeah. And the NCAA is incredibly slow at investigation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
It's bad for them. Like they kind of want Michigan to be in.
Yeah,
it.
they don't want to take eyes
You
off
don't wanna-
off of football
Yeah.
either right now.
Mhm.
yeah,
So, that's true.
yeah. So
That stinks.
definitely we'll see. But other than that, it's a great slate, like I said, of college football this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So the picture's going to get a lot more clear. But we're only like 4 weeks away from conference championship, so
Yeah,
it's getting down to the wire for a lot of these teams.
it definitely
so
is. It's crazy.
It's a good time.
It feels like it just started.
I know.
I know.
College football does go pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it just makes some way for college basketball. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I miss talking about Colorado. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah,
You want to talk about them?
No.
They
That
get
was-
Oregon State this week.
Mm.
Maybe they win.
That would've been fun if they could have spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want them in a bowl game, like I've been saying, but they screwed up by losing that game to Stanford, and that might be it.
Nah, it's over. Next year.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Dion going to coach the Raiders would be funny.
He just jumps everyone.
He jumps with his son.
And Shador
Oh
enters
my
the draft.
That'd
and
be
takes
so
him,
cool.
and they
That'd
go
be so
0-17.
That'd be crazy. Yeah.
Nah, they would start 3-0.
That'd be funny. I don't think he's going anywhere for a while, but that'd be funny. Yeah. I'm not tired. I'm glad Colorado got their shine, and we're done with it. It got a little bit much for me.
It's true.
Yeah. It was a lot. Everybody was in on it.
But I think they're building. Dion's building something. I think in 2 or
Yeah.
3 years it'll be a lot. And 12-team playoff next year. So
Yeah.
you can.
Right. It wasn't supposed to be this year.
No, oh my God, no. Their win
Yeah.
total was 3.5.
Yeah.
Well, and for how the rest of the Pac-12 teams are showing up, it makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's the other thing. I think they got screwed. That the Pac-12 was as competitive as it was.
Well, they're gonna have to go play Big 12 next year. So
Yeah.
I think the Pac-12 staying as a 2-team conference next year. By the way,
That'd be hilarious.
which is amazing.
What 2 teams?
I think it's Oregon State and Washington State. They said
Stanford didn't say.
Stanford's going to ACC.
Oh, that's right.
So there's
Ew.
there's a lot of fun names being thrown out there for the new ACC, the All Coast Conference.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's gonna be so weird. Not.
Oh, we love that. Points for half would be nice.
Come on. What are they? Eagles? I think they're Screaming Eagles, something like that.
I don't know.
I pride myself on college mascots. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm.
I think we need some cookies.
Okay.
We're here with the halftime dough, and it's a special week because we have a bake-off, and the category is cookies, and these look delicious.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I don't know who wants to start.
I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll start. So Rachel made a chocolate peanut butter cookie.
Okay.
I was told it's extra chocolatey.
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest. She didn't really give me a description. I was in a rush.
Those are definitely peanut butter chips I see. You see
Yes.
some like sticking
There
through?
are some. Yeah, there are definitely some peanut butter chips. But that's all the information I have.
Now, should we keep going or should we go for that one and then go to the next one?
We should keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to know them all. Before.
Yeah.
I also don't have a lot of information, but Victoria made s'mores cookies.
Oh.
and with the chocolate drizzle on top, marshmallows in there.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
good stuff.
And Megan made a cornbread cookie with honey butter icing.
Ooh,
Honey butter ice.
I was definitely guessing that was snickerdoodle. So
Yeah.
that
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're starting.
Yeah, and how are we gonna? How do you want to do this, fellas? Are we gonna like rank them all individually like we have,
We'll do
Yeah,
that.
and then do a 1, 2, 3,
We'll-
or it'll just be based on our school?
We'll
Yeah,
say,
but
we'll
based
say
on-
from. Oh, okay, that works
Yeah,
too.
I think.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we start with?
Oh, so we're gonna eat it.
Well,
We
I
should,
don't
we should
know.
all eat them at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You were grabbing chocolate peanut butter, I think.
I was grabbing this one first.
Okay.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh my God.
That's a good cookie.
By the way, having these warm
I was gonna say that.
is the move.
It was a good call.
You need that melty chocolate.
No.
Or the peanut butter, I guess.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Wow.
The consistency, is
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal.
For sure.
Man, that's really good. So Rachel, on my way out was like, I just don't think you're gonna like it that much because it's like super chocolatey, but I don't really get that here. Like I taste a lot more peanut butter than I do chocolate.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy. That's really good, man.
Should I eat like half of it for
I
now?
was gonna say.
Yeah. I almost can't help myself. All right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
A good cookie. A good cookie.
And I don't really like chocolate cookies, but I do like that.
I don't really like peanut butter, but I like that.
Wow, very nice. Okay.
Like I don't like chocolate cake either. Really, I'm coming around to it.
I don't really like. I'm just not a cake person. Not gonna
Chocolate cake is all I ate growing up. Like for desserts, we'd never had yellow cake, so
lie. Oh wow, really?
always chocolate.
All right. S'mores.
S'mores. Let's
Oh,
do it.
we're not doing score.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, we want to do score now.
I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
either.
cool with score now.
I think that makes more sense.
Well, yes, it does. It makes more sense. That's probably the best dessert that Rachel has made. I'm gonna go 9.3. I think. Wow, she's gonna be really excited. But
I'm at an 8.7 on it.
8.7.
I'm at like an 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, I'm at like.
That's really good, man. I was
too.
like, let's. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to say this before we started, but like, if we were picking like, if there was a gambling like line for who was gonna win this thing, like Megan was like probably like minus 205, and then Rachel and Victoria in the same vicinity like plus 140, right? That was good. I did not expect that from Rachel.
good.
I'm not saying she stinks. That's not what I'm saying. No. Let me stop that right now. That's really good.
Clip it.
I will say, going into it, knowing it was a chocolate cookie and peanut butter, my guesses would have been in the 7s. So that's a good score
yeah.
for that, for me.
Okay. I like that thing, man. Okay, all right. All right.
I've had one of these already.
You have smaller than the other cookies, but
That's a s'more.
That's a great cookie. That's
really
a
good,
great
man.
cookie.
That's a good Christmas Day like cookie. Wake up, get some of those.
wow, man.
Cookie.
I mean, it literally tastes exactly like a s'more.
It's
Like
crazy.
I cannot differentiate.
She said she was gonna do s'mores, and I was like, I have no idea how you're gonna do that. She did it.
Fellas, this is a great day. This is really good. This is very good. Wow.
See, now it becomes a nightmare, though. Now it becomes a nightmare because I don't know. Because you have to say one's better now.
You do.
And I don't know.
It's a 9-1 cookie for me. It's a
Yeah,
great cookie.
My
8.5.
Cop out.
I hate that you said 9-1 because that's what I was gonna say.
That's fine.
I was gonna say 9-1. That's so good. And dude, I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
at a 9-1 too.
Yeah, I'm shocked because I really don't like s'mores all that much. Like I always overdo it with the Hershey's chocolate because I like the extra chocolate. That's good, man.
No,
That
I
was
was
really good.
thoroughly impressed.
I need a minute. I just.
Look, I don't know. I think even if you go 8.51, one's got to be better than the other.
Yeah, you can't pick. Yeah, you had the same score for both of them.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
But here's the thing. So if we're taking our average, it's scores, right? So
That's true.
yeah.
8-4.
8-4.
They're both really good. Now I'm just an ass.
Yep, you're the worst.
Hey man, we all got to do it.
Cornbread cookie.
Cornbread.
Definitely. She said you gotta make sure you get some of the icing.
Palate cleanser.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
What was that?
Wang's acting like Keith Lee over there.
Wow, man. All right. What was that? That is awesome. That's
Having fun with this butter too.
Yeah.
dude. The butter is what make. Let me start off by saying I do not like sugar cookies like that. Like sugar cookies, not really a big fan.
Cornbread.
Yeah.
I know it's cornbread. I know. I'm just saying, like, I don't like the. I just hold on. Don't fry me. Stuff. I just don't like the lack of sort of, basicness that's in it. This is awesome. It's not a sugar cookie, obviously.
No, you need the butter.
Yes,
You
the
need
butter is a must.
Wow. Damn it.
Holy crap!
That was not good ASMR. I'm sorry. It smacked my lips.
That's what the viewers want.
Wow, fellas, that butter is insane.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Actually, Crumble had something exactly like this.
Really?
She nailed it.
All right. Before I give my ranking, okay. The ladies brought it.
Yeah.
They all brought it. I don't think I'm joking. I really, because I love creme brulee. Okay, so I think creme brulee is on this show probably my favorite thing that I've had. Other than that, all three of these cookies are the best thing I've had on this show.
Oh, wow.
Like, these are really good, man.
The thing about cookies is they're probably like one of the top 2 desserts for me, just because like you can just keep eating them.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Wow.
This gets better every bite. I'm not gonna lie.
It does, yeah. It's really good, man.
Because at first I was like, I don't know if because I like very chocolatey dessert, but like every bite I'm like, that's really good.
It's like light, kind of. It's very good, man. That's really good.
She's the worst. She's gonna make me look bad.
Why?
What are you gonna be like?
What? It's not a 6.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
No. I don't know. I didn't go first. You went first.
I mean, I went first for Victoria's,
Oh.
and he went first for Rachel's.
Yeah, man.
So,
All right.
So Wayne goes first.
Dude, I'll say it. That's a fucking 9-3.
Whoa! You can't do that. We made a rule. You can't do that. I
He
got
was 9-2.
roasted.
I was 9-2.
I think even 9-3.
He was 9-3.
I did
I was
9-2,
9-3.
9-1, 9-3.
I don't make the rules. I'm sorry.
Man. I was gonna say 9-4.
I'll go 9-1. I'll go 9-1.
I wasn't prepared for you all to go that fast.
Hold on. Let me try a little. No, because the point is the honey butter's there. I was gonna be like, let me try a little bit of this without the honey butter, but the point is the honey butter's
The
there.
honey butter is there. The honey butter makes it for sure. That's the best part.
It would just be a cornbread muffin, without it.
Wow.
Wow. It's an 8-9 for me. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, All of them are just
They're all really
so
good, man.
good. Yeah.
They're all really good. Oh. I like this, fellas. This is nice. We should do this every week.
I didn't like it.
You didn't?
I love the cookies. They all did great. I hate ranking them.
Ranking them is tough.
Yeah.
But they understand. They know what they're
Sure.
signing up. Okay. Here's the thing. If it helps, they suggested this. We did not suggest this.
It's true.
That was really good.
I know.
That was really good. I don't know how they do that.
Stupid good.
I really don't know how they do that. Oh. I'm sad it's over. We gotta bring them on the show. Make food for them and then
I was
have
gonna
them.
say we should
Absolutely.
break them.
Yeah, you're gonna see them one day just plop in, sitting here,
Yeah,
and it'll be our
dude, that would be fantastic. That'd be so funny.
jank desserts.
Dude, I think we'd do good.
Oh, we'd get a 5.
I want a 5.
I trust Ben. I think Ben is gonna show out.
No. Not a dessert. Not a baker.
Not
I
a
make
baker.
some okay dinners, but not much of a baker.
I would do the. You know what I'd do? I'll tell you now. I'm not even scared. I would do the cookies with the Reese's cup on top of them.
Oh,
Like, have you seen those? Like on the back of the bag of the Reese's cup bag or whatever. And then like I'd pair it with like a Hershey Kiss on top.
that's what I'm thinking of. The ones with
Hershey
Hershey
Kiss?
Kiss one. Yeah,
What do they call the ones with the? There's a name for
I
those.
know.
Is it? I
Yeah.
don't know. That's.
Yeah.
Should we take our aggregate scores and add them up and?
I don't even remember.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, yeah, we can.
Okay.
Ben, you want to do a little math on that paper for us?
Oh man, that's good.
All right. So 9, 3, 9, 2. What Wang and Ben? What were you on the s'mores?
9-1.
Oh, that's right. All 9 ones, and you were 8-4. Then the cornbread, I know I was low.
Cornbread cookie. What a bold move, man.
You know who would have liked that? Nicholas Webster.
Really?
Yeah, he would. He's gonna be pissed.
He likes cornbread? I didn't know he likes it.
And he told me, because I talked about the cornbread cookie at Crumble with him, he told me that he always gets his sister and mom to get him one.
What were the scores? I know 9-4, and then 9-3.
Not one.
Sounds right. So, all right, I gotta do frickin' math, arithmetic.
Sorry, Ben. Wow, that's incredible.
S'mores average was 8.925.
Give that Trailblazers guys up there.
Oh my god, chocolate peanut butter average 8.925.
No.
Tie?
That is a tie.
Oh! That's crazy. Well, here we go.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the cornbread.
Cornbread is up
cornbread beat it, but not by a lot.
9.1, that looks like maybe?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty close to that. I did that math wrong.
Would show up
And
29.
29. Jeremy got it?
Yep.
And other guy got Cade?
9.175.
9.175 on the cornbread. So you were pretty spot on the odds.
Yeah. Yeah. That's odd. Well, that's kind of what I anticipated. All right. So
Megan had home field advantage.
that is true. It's true. But she did give him a layup. She forced a turn, or she gave up A turnover when she allowed them to heat up
Heat
their-
up the cookies. That's true. She did.
Good point.
Yeah, point. That's a good point.
Because I would say those two need to be heated up. The
Yeah.
s'mores need to be heated up, and the peanut butter too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost ate those without eating them up.
The cornbread too, probably because the
The
icing
but,
melted over.
yeah,
and
I think
the
that's why
butter
she
melted.
asked too. She was like,
Yeah.
"It's probably imperative for a cookie to have the butter melt." You know?
Yeah.
Wow, that was really good. Man.
Really good. All right. Yeah, those were phenomenal. I want more. So we're going to speed through this NFL. No, we're not. So, yeah, we got to get into the NFL. Trade deadline happened yesterday. The big news was, I think, Washington Clearinghouse was probably the biggest.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean,
guess.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that, but I kind of get it. I guess.
I don't-
Sign one of them. Sign one.
I think they understood maybe Sweat was either out of their price range or didn't want to return.
Yeah.
And I think they had questions about Chase Young's health and
Yeah.
his want to, in a sense. So I get it because it's all new ownership. Ron Rivera is as dead as a dog could be
Yeah,
in terms of a head coach.
You say that he's been dead before.
Yeah.
No,
You
but
know,
like
scratching back
in Washington.
Alex Smith.
But with the new ownership group, they're not just going to fire him midseason. They're just going to
Yeah.
they're going to want their guy in there, whoever it is.
And they've been competing in games to
Well, when
to
they
an
play the
extent.
Eagles, they
That's
compete.
true.
But Sweat goes to the Bears, which is weird on the surface. If they don't sign him, it's the worst trade of all
Yeah,
time.
it is. Well, they have to. That's the thing, they have to.
I think that they have a plan, right? You better.
Yeah.
Because if you don't sign him, you're a bad team that just rented a player for a second-round pick. It's the worst trade in history.
Yeah.
If you sign him, I get it, and it makes a lot of sense because they have a ton of cap room next year. They're going to be rebuilding that defense. Why not start it with a proven guy and not have to bid for him in free agency? Just go trade for him, and you're probably not going to get a better second-round pick.
Yeah.
Although it will be a top 35-ish pick.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the only
thing.
thing. But I don't know. I think Washington did fine. They're going to be looking to upgrade at some positions. They weren't. I don't think they were going to sign the guys. So get what you can for them.
Yeah.
They get a top 35 pick in return, and then Chase Young goes for a third, which sounds like it's going to be a comp pick, which is late, I think, for him. But I get his knee has issues, and maybe other teams weren't lining up to go get him.
Was he on last year's deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they declined his fifth-year option, which never made sense. Yeah, that never made sense to me. So they forced their own hand
They did.
into doing this, which is I didn't understand. But
I think
I get it because he was injured. You didn't think he was going to come back. If you get his fifth-year deal and he gets hurt again or he's bad, you're stuck with him.
I
But-
think there was somewhat of a broken relationship there.
Yeah.
With the injuries, and then also he didn't always have the greatest attitude, and obviously Washington never really helps their players out a ton. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the teams involved did great or did good. The Niners did great because they get a potential All-Pro to add to their All-Pro defensive line.
Yeah.
Because I might be right about Brock Purdy, and they might have to win with defense.
You might be.
Yeah. You might be.
But
It's been rough.
it's
sad.
It's been a rough 3 weeks. I don't fault him for this past week because I think he had a concussion, and I don't understand why.
I can't believe you played.
I don't get that.
You can't do that.
You really can't do that, and it's just a bad look to put a guy in protocol on Wednesday, take him out on Thursday, and he plays terrible. He hit his head again on Sunday, so he probably reconcussed himself. Like it's just a bad look that could screw up the guy's not only football career but the rest of his life. So like the guy's always going to tell you he's ready to go and can
Right.
play, but it's a bad look to me. But he has not been good, and they definitely miss Debo and Trent Williams. So I understand they're hurt, but the showings the last couple weeks have been rough.
Yeah, they've been pretty rough.
But Chase Young adds another element to that defensive line where
Stupid.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But good for them. But they're all in.
That just makes me know that they're even more in a Brock Party, right? Because he still has another year or so on his deal, on his
I mean,
rookie
a
deal.
few.
Yeah, he's probably got a few.
So that's what I'm
2
saying.
years.
Is like,
Well-
why move on?
Yeah. Well, they might not sign Chase Young.
But even if not, there's so many people that they have to pay.
Sure.
Like on that team, that's just it's bad.
They almost they have forced their hand, I think,
Yes.
in terms of they have Brock Purdy on a 7th-year rookie deal.
Yep.
So you have to be married to him with all the talent that you have.
Yeah.
you can pay they have a window of 3 years, this year and 2 more years, when he's on his rookie deal, where you can just ride it out, never extend him, and hope that the talent around him gets you there.
That's so rude.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
I
the
know,
reality.
I know.
Yeah.
And it was the reality with Jimmy G, and even though no one wanted to believe it, but we're starting to see that he in another system, that's not working very well.
Sure.
So I think they're very self-aware, which I think is very important. They said, Brock is not doing what we need him to do right now. We're kind of injured. Go get another defensive piece. If the other team doesn't score more than 10 points, they're not going to win. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting strategy, but I get it. I mean, and they're able to go all in. So
Yep.
Other news: Josh Dobbs goes to Minnesota. Kirk Cousins obviously tears his Achilles on Sunday, which sucked to see. Minnesota started to play some good football. Started to stack some wins. Kirk has kind of been balling this year, even without Jefferson for right now. The Dobbs trade makes sense on a lot of fronts. Kyler's obviously going to be back pretty soon. We might get Clayton Tune this week, which, you never know.
He could do fine.
You never
Gonna be bad.
know.
He's got a rocket arm. Let me just tell you.
Yeah.
But
He can move.
Arizona gets the 7th round pick for Dobbs, which is fine. Obviously, they were never tied to him in any way. Minnesota gets a stable quarterback. I thought they probably could have done a little bit better in terms of who they brought in, but at least they're not going to be starting Jaron Hall. I would think he might start this week, but I don't think that was going to be the answer.
No.
So this gives them a shot to maybe get to the playoffs, see what happens. Dobbs is fine. He can maybe make some things happen, but laughing at Maction.
You did, man. You should have seen it. So they blocked this guy so bad that he fell into the ball. All right, there's a scrum to pick up the ball. This guy picks it up and then does this dance as he's got the ball. And as soon as he goes like that to indicate he has the ball, the ref is on the other side saying the ball is that way.
Yeah, I don't think that touched the guy on whoever they're playing. Ball State.
I need to see the dance.
Yeah, I wish.
No.
He literally was like, and then as soon as he went like that, the official was like the other way. It's pretty bad. Pretty rough. Sorry.
I love Maction. Other trades. Bayard went to the Eagles, what happened last week. I can't think of any other big names.
Yeah,
but I feel like there was one, which is why. But
John Wolford did not get traded, right?
I don't know. Jalen Johnson did not get traded. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, all the running backs don't get traded.
Yeah, this year was more about who didn't get traded, unless the Washington defensive ends.
Yeah, which Vegas we'll get to, which is the other big news outside of the games that have happened. They cleaned house. I didn't think they were going to do this. They should have. They were very right to do it. But they did it at such a dumb time. Because apparently there were teams calling yesterday, and the Raiders didn't call back. I think because their GM had already been fired.
Yeah.
And their head coach was fired. So you fire everybody
He's going, no thanks.
on deadline day. You were going to let Josh Jacobs walk in free agency. You're probably not going to want to pay him. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to try to trade him for whatever you can
Especially
get.
a running back.
Right.
Like, come on.
I don't get that at all. But whatever. And they fired their coach on a short week.
Yeah.
They played Monday Night Football. Like, you're not giving yourself any hope, really.
Yeah.
Well, they play the Giants. But you're not giving yourself a lot of hope going into a short week with a whole new system happening. And then they're going to start Aiden O'Connell as well. Jimmy G is going to be benched. So
Is that it for him?
no.
For Jimmy G, I think he'll be a backup.
I think he'll
But
go.
it
Well,
was
I'm
a
saying, like, that's it for him starting.
And it's
Well,
started.
he'll go get a high leverage backup job, I think.
Yeah, like Baker
Like
did this
Jameis,
year. Or
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where, like, you can always be like, well, we got this guy, like maybe a rookie is coming in type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like being signed to be a starter, I think that's probably it.
That's about right.
Should be. He's not very good.
Yeah. System guy.
He looked horrible.
Yeah, he was dreadful. He was terrible.
Ah, Devontae. Poor guy.
I mean, honestly, like it's like I don't mean to like, because they're players. They get paid a lot to do this, but I do kind of feel bad for like Josh Jacobs and like Devontae Adams.
Me too.
Like they didn't want to be there, and there's no point in keeping them on your roster. Like I would be furious at Mark Davis, and I'd be like, if you don't trade me this offseason, I'm not playing for your team.
Because
Like Devontae's locked in long term. He's there for a long time, and he said he doesn't want to be there.
And he was there to play Derek Carr.
he was right.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And to not even field calls. I mean, at least the owner should be picking up the phone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I fired my GM. You know,
But
but
I
that's how bad teams are bad, though.
Right.
You know,
And they continuously hire the wrong hires.
Right.
It's actually incredible.
Yeah.
Their history.
like they're so bad. I can't believe they have 3 wins.
Yeah.
You know, but you'd think like Jacobs. Like, what do you tell guys like Jacobs and Adams now? Like when you go to practice and you see your owner, like
Good
what
luck
is-
out there.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's like.
And I
don't
can
know.
see
That's
keeping.
crazy.
I can see keeping Devontae because he did sign a long-term deal there,
Right.
and he did say he wanted to be on the West Coast. You know, Vegas is close enough. So like, there is reasons for him to stay, but like on the Jacobs front, it makes 0.0% chance to keep a guy that you're gonna let walk. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to pay the running back, but then you act like it's some great asset you have. I don't get it.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere this year. Obviously, you're switching to Aiden O'Connell. You're firing your coaches. Like, you're clearly punting the season.
Right.
Why not get a third-round pick for?
Yeah, for nothing. For
Yeah.
something that, I hear
You might be right though. Yesterday, that might not have been their focus. They might have just been like, let's get rid of the people in the office.
I mean,
But why are you doing that?
Ex-
At
I
least
know.
wait
No,
till
I know.
after the deadline.
I completely agree.
You know,
I guess they
don't know.
didn't want him in charge of any more decisions. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
It seems crazy to me. The other part of the trade deadline was the rumors were that the Ravens and the Titans agreed to a trade for Derrick Henry, and the owner shot that one down. Owners need to stop messing with football teams. If I'm an owner, I'm gonna want to know what's going on. But you hire these people for a reason,
Right.
and then you act like they mean so much to your franchise. And like on Derrick Henry, I kind of get it, but on Josh Jacobs, definitely not because
Yes, absolutely.
Josh Jacobs. But on the Derrick Henry stuff, it's like if you're getting market value and your football guys agree to it, and then you act like it's gonna signal something to your fans, which it's like whatever.
Well, yeah, because that's what I kind of get out of it. Besides this past week, the fan base probably has only rallied around Derrick Henry. Like
I
that's the only
guess.
reason they come to games, probably.
Yeah.
Besides this past week, so now there's a little hope for that.
Yeah.
That's a little different, but he's been the face.
I kind of have the opposite take. Like, I love it.
Really?
I think it's awesome. I love it. I think I love rivalries in the NFL,
Sure.
and for the owner to be like, no, you're not getting Derrick Henry. Screw you. I love that. I think it's awesome. I think it's part of what makes sports great.
If
Like,
if that was the reason, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm fine. If don't get me wrong, if the owner was like,
And it is a rumor, right? They haven't proved it.
No,
because I saw there was a thing that came out that said, "Oh, it's not true."
Yeah, the
like
owner
a
said it.
Titans beat reporter came out and said that.
owner said that it wasn't true, but I
Right.
don't know what you expect her to say.
Yeah,
So
but she could have came out and said, "Yeah."
well, that's what I'm saying. If you want to do that and you want to stand behind your decision, you want to be like, yeah, I'm not. No, the Ravens. We don't have we don't have
Yeah.
a good history with them. We're not doing that.
That'd be cool.
I'd be like, credit to you. You know
Yeah.
what? Because like the Ravens and Steelers don't trade, right? Like
Right.
you don't trade in division. The Nationals and Orioles they won't trade because of the TV deal. Like
Yeah.
And
I'm
there's someone
fine
they
with
beef
it.
with technically.
Yeah.
Like they're
No, don't get me wrong. I'm on. If that's the reason, sure,
Yeah.
I can stand behind it. But if you just want to stand behind the curtain of, well, it means a lot to our franchise.
You're right.
It's like, well, maybe you're not going to do anything with him, and you just drafted his replacement,
He's been
and
good.
and he's going to be 30, and you're not going to get anything else for him. Maybe you just send him off and let him go play for a contender, but it's
Yeah.
fine. I said it last week. I didn't really want Derrick Henry. He wasn't the top of my list.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't know.
I would have loved Derrick. That'd be
I got on board with it, and then it got ripped out from under me.
cool. Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. It seems like Mark Davis was doing the same thing. Was just like, no, we're not doing that. And obviously he didn't have anybody else to lean on because he fired all of them. But, it's just like the Panthers owner is doing like similar things of like getting involved with like football operations and like
Yeah.
it's like, dude, you're hiring people.
It's not working.
Right. And like let them do their job. Don't get me wrong, like I said, if I was an owner, I'd absolutely give my input, but I would not I feel like I wouldn't force these guys to like
Right.
abide to what I
yeah.
say.
If anything, you want them making the calls, not you.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't want to make your presence feel like they should be operating a certain way because they're football people. You have the money.
Right. You're paying your GM, I don't know,
Yeah,
$1 million
right.
bucks, like
Yeah, exactly.
to make the decisions.
Right.
Let him make the decisions, but
Yeah.
but that was the deadline. That not as much change as maybe we hoped. Kyler didn't get moved.
Yeah. Barkley, were you surprised that Barkley didn't get moved? I kind of thought they especially with them losing on Sunday in that horrific manner. I mean,
they're horrible.
They're done.
Well, he's on a. It's not 1 year, right?
It is.
It is. It's a one. It has a second-year option, I think. But I mean, they're not giving him a long-term deal. And he was he literally went on a podcast this offseason and talked about the state of running backs.
Right.
And you know that you're not doing anything this year.
I guess he didn't ever get enough traction for me to
Yeah.
start thinking about why he didn't get moved. But you are right.
I thought after Jacobs, Henry, and Barkley were all kind of in the same tier.
Yeah.
I thought teams are gonna. Okay, well they're 2-6 now, right?
Yeah, they're not doing.
So-
I guess because the Giants were in the playoffs last year, I give them a little bit more slack. But they
Yeah.
are horrible.
Right.
And they don't have a quarterback at the moment, and having Saquon isn't going to help that. Well, I guess it kind of helps, but you can't win the games on the back of a running back.
Yeah, they ran the ball 34 times with him last season. I just kind of thought okay, well we're done. This was the last opportunity and so we should be selling, and they should be selling.
Yeah.
I don't know, how you kind of viewed Tennessee last week. That's how I view the Giants right now.
Fair.
They're in even worse shape than Tennessee in my opinion because they don't really have much to build around.
They did trade somebody. That's who I'm missing.
Leonard Williams. They traded
Yeah.
Leonard Williams to who did they trade him to?
Seahawks.
The Seahawks.
Yeah,
It's the
Seahawks.
Yeah.
It's just if Saquon's gone,
Oh,
what are
it's
you gonna
horrible.
what are you
Yeah.
gonna watch? I guess that's probably it too, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You employ Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, if you're playing Tommy DeVito,
Big Russian quarterback.
that was
Well, he wasn't allowed to throw.
and your receivers are dreadful. I mean, they're just so bad to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was a little shocked by that. I kind of thought Barkley would be pretty likely.
You might be right. That should have been, I guess, more talked about because.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're not.
And he would have wanted it too, probably, right? I mean,
any of those guys would want it.
Only
yeah.
a sign trade, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go to a new team halfway through the year just to play out your contract.
Right.
Well, if you're 2-6 and you automatically get 6-2 overnight, that's a little nice.
I wonder how much these guys care about the football part of it. Because then it's also you moving homes and everything.
I think it depends on the player.
Yeah.
I know Jadeveon Clowney doesn't care. He just wants to play and make money.
Mhm.
I know that because when he was drafted 1 overall, he couldn't even name the teams in his division.
Yeah.
He was strictly about his business in football, you know.
And
So,
on the opposite side, I know Kirk Cousins had the no trade clause, and he was very adamant about keeping that because he didn't want to move his family.
I heard him
Yeah.
say he wanted to be a one franchise team. Then he obviously got cut by the command.
franchise tagged twice.
Yeah.
And then they traded him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are it definitely differs from guy to guy, but I don't know. I think in a lot of cases when you are on the last year of your deal, you kind of know you're not being re-signed.
Yeah.
So you might as well go live in an apartment for 3 months and try to win a Super Bowl.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saquon probably should have been dealt because they're not doing they don't have a quarterback. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, I just don't
next year
get that.
either.
Even if it's for something pipsqueak, like a 6th-round pick. I
Yeah.
just you're not getting anything for him.
Yeah.
You're not.
I guess
you're not going to get anything for him at the end of the season.
Well, I think they'll get a comp pick probably. Third or
If he
fourth round
signs
comp pick.
if he signs a big deal.
Yeah.
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 It would have to be a good long-term contract.
That's true. That's true. So I don't know. Yeah, I thought I was hoping a little bit more would happen, but the NFL trade deadline's just never really like
Right.
that. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
You mentioned Giants Jets. I just wrote down that game was hilarious, and I understand Tommy DeVito is your third quarterback, but he couldn't. You didn't allow him to throw the ball.
Nope.
So you have someone that can throw the ball.
Yeah, I get you. I don't understand why teams do that. I get the appeal of having a young quarterback who's unproven. You don't know what he's like. I get the understanding, and you mentioned this too. He was a terrible ACC quarterback last year. But yeah, why do you have a guy on the team who is just some body? You
Right.
know, I don't see how that's any different from going and getting Mike Glennon off the street
Yeah.
or Joe Flacco off the street.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
That
I'm with you there. That was silly. I thought that was so dumb. And the fact that I was hoping they'd win that game.
Oh,
That'd
it'd
be
be
the ultimate
hysterical.
meme. But but they stood no shot in that game. It was
No.
terrible to watch. And if I was Barkley this week, not to go back to him again, but I'd be slamming my helmet on the turf
Yeah.
every play. You know.
he's probably too tired. He carried the ball 36 times.
To be fair, their game style did work. They were a Graham Gano field goal away from winning that.
They were.
And that was 35-yarder or something?
Yeah,
It was
that was
ugly.
rough.
It was ugly.
And Zach Wilson showed up.
For 24 seconds, he did.
Yeah.
and
That's
I love it.
That's the worst thing about this whole thing is that they're gonna keep playing him because they're in the same boat. Like, don't get it mistaken. Like, I know they've won 3 games in a row, but Wilson's terrible. And like,
Correct.
and you have all these people like, well, Zach Wilson's been playing good. Like, dude, he's bad. He was terrible that game. At one point, he was 9 for 21. He is not a good NFL quarterback.
Yeah,
So
but the team's good enough.
the team is good enough, but
They're making the playoffs.
they also didn't make a move either. They didn't do anything to upgrade that team. They're in there. They had before this offseason, they had the best team they'd ever assembled in their franchise history, and they didn't do
Sure.
anything this trade deadline.
well,
I guess because they weren't going to buy anymore.
Couldn't trade a 5th-round pick to get Josh Dobbs.
I don't think they have. Well,
They don't want to. That's a bad look for Zach Wilson. They're trying to give him confidence.
Joe
Dude,
Douglas
he
said.
stinks. He's
Joe,
terrible.
Joe Douglas said that Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
That too. That's
He is not coming
Yes, he
back.
you see
Oh,
him?
he
You
is.
see him shuffling
I
around?
don't know if it's gonna be good.
It might not be good.
It's gonna be horrible, dude.
But he's gonna play because he loves the attention, or he'll keep stringing us along. I don't know which.
Dang it. That's so true.
Which he might, because he already planted the seed last week. I think he was like, I had a bad week, like on the Pat McAfee show. He was like, I had a bad week. I'm upset at how it's not going as I wanted it to. So look, this dude loves attention. So like, don't. But the owner, or what is Joe Douglas? GM, owner? I don't even know. GM. Him saying it puts a little bit more credibility behind it. Like
Same what?
that Aaron's going to play this year.
Oh, so he's going to?
He did. He.
Well, he could also be saying that to keep the team motivated. Like, okay, we've won 3 straight. Don't give up. Don't give up. I know Zach Wilson's bad, but keep playing hard.
They're gonna beat the Chargers at home this weekend somehow. It's gonna be so dumb.
We'll talk about Survivor later, but Chargers?
The Jets are gonna win.
No way.
Jets
The Chargers defense.
bad.
The Jets defense.
Jets have a good.
And Herbert is going to make a few mistakes.
He was better
Yeah.
this past week.
I know, but it's like he's like
But
not
the
handling
Bears are
snaps. Did you see the finger?
Yeah, that
He's
was
going out?
ridiculous.
bad.
Oh my god.
It looks absurd.
Yeah, that was bad. He has to do shotgun. It was funny. The first play of the game, he went under center,
Yep.
and then they didn't do it for the rest of the game.
Yep.
And that goes
Which
back.
is fine.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what I was talking about with Burrow and then Deshaun. They lost games, and he didn't get any healthier, right? Like, you lost games, you could have sat him and allowed him to get to 100%.
They're in such a bad spot already. Though.
I hear, but like going into the Chiefs game, you couldn't look at that and be like, we're probably gonna lose. Maybe we
That's
just
true.
don't hurt his finger more. I don't know.
But now they gotta.
well, now they have to play
Yeah.
him. I get it,
Yeah.
but they did it last year too. Though he hurt his
He did the
shoulder.
same thing.
And
Yeah,
he
I think
played
this
through
is-
it, and they got blown out by the Jaguars. And it puts a strain because you don't get any better in the during the off week. You could go play Sunday, you lose, and you're right back in the same spot. But now they're, like you said, they have to go. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. They should beat the Jets. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
But you can see that going very ugly. Like Chargers winning the whole game, something stupid happens.
It's true.
Jets win. They're 5-3,
And Super Bowl ticket.
and Rodgers is playing on Black Friday. And I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
That deer antler spray. Give
that
it to
deer
him.
antler spray. Yeah, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. That game was so funny.
Ugh.
We sort of alluded to Will Levis earlier. Good.
As of now,
I
he's slinging that thing.
He's got an arm, which that was never debated.
when we make our picks for Thursday, we'll get more into it as well. But I think a lot of that has to do with there's no tape on the guy. There's no tape on the guy, and their offense was dreadful. So I don't think
Didn't expect
that
it.
whole game was incredibly weird because the Falcons had a great defense this whole year. They had been able to run the ball this whole year, and they just played like a completely different team that whole game.
It's because they're bad.
Are they though?
Well,
They're
not
like,
anymore. Heineke, baby.
yeah, well,
Yeah, no, I'm kind of in on him.
he threw over 175 yards. in
He's
half.
not bad. Well, he
No.
makes very dumb mistakes sometimes, but he's
He
not
does,
bad.
right? He's a good backup. You know,
better
he's a
than
great
Ritter.
backup.
Well, he's better
Yeah,
than
That's
Ritter.
so sad.
Maybe, yeah.
You just look at them before and you're like, they stink because they had Ritter, and that's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't mind the rest of the team.
I think their spread actually got bigger when they announced Heineke. Like, it went from 4 to 5.
As it should have.
Yeah. And Henry's good. Henry's great. Derrick Henry was good that game.
He was.
And so it's the play action thing works.
Well-
and it's almost like they forgot they had DeAndre Hopkins these past couple weeks.
It just kept
it
pinging.
works a lot better when you have someone that can make the throw over the top.
Yeah.
And like I said, Will Levis's arm talent has never been questioned.
Yeah.
He had the best arm in the draft. It was just about. Can
Seems
he
like a
make
good
all the
locker room guy
decisions?
too.
Sure.
Him backing up Malik Willis, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I saw a montage of every throw, so I watched that. There were some decisions that weren't great, but it was also his first start, so
Yeah.
we'll see about it. It's going to be a tough, short week going against Pittsburgh this week, which we'll always talk about our best bets, but
Minka being out helps.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to take the top off the defense matters.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always thought if there's one thing, I swear I've said this exact thing on this podcast, but if there's one thing Joe Flacco taught me, if you just throw it deep one time, defenses will respect that, and they'll back up. But the minute you stop trying to push the ball downfield, you've completely handicapped your whole passing game.
Absolutely.
You just need one time if you just launch it, even if it's like an arm punt.
And
That's fair.
you'll get some defensive pass
Defensive pass interference or something. I mean, seriously, it's a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Flacco would have loved Odell.
Dude, yeah, he would have.
All the penalties.
Oh, yeah.
All the penalties. So yeah, I'm interested in the Will Levis story because
Yeah,
he went in the second round, but a lot of teams had first round grades on him.
Mhm.
So he
Yeah.
could have very easily been the fourth pick overall.
Yeah, there was talks.
yeah, he was.
Well, so apparently the Colts had Anthony Richardson 1-1. So if he was there, they were taking him. But they said they had Levis 1-2.
Wow.
So
Wow. That's crazy.
So yeah, like he could have been the fourth pick, but instead he's a second rounder, so he gets viewed a little bit differently.
I'm cool with it. I like the story.
I did too.
I like this
Yeah,
whole
I do
comeback
too.
story. Or not comeback, but like coming,
Yeah.
through the trenches.
Yeah.
And he was a rival at Kentucky of all the Tennessee fans, so it's kind of funny that they have to root for him.
yeah. Yeah.
Will Levis covered for us in Vegas.
He did. Yeah, he did. Who they play?
Ole Miss, I think?
That's right. Ole
Yeah.
Miss. I think it was Ole Miss.
He made a really dumb mistake at the end to make sure that the +6 covered and that they didn't go to overtime.
Oh.
Yeah.
But,
Sweet.
yeah,
I was about to say they lost that game.
they did. Yeah, he threw a pick
That's
at like the
bad.
10. It was really bad, but it helped.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping back a little bit, Thursday Night Football last week. Bills not quite right. First half was better, but then they just slipped back into.
Yeah, they didn't score in the second half.
Is that true?
They didn't. They had 24 at halftime, and they end the game with 24. It's
And
24-18.
that Hail Mary could have been called.
Yeah, what the?
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad the commentator said something too. Herb Street was like, I don't think I've ever seen a Hail Mary. where
Yeah, it hit the
no
ground.
one, it's just hit the ground.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then they show the angle from the back of the end zone. You see the one guy getting smushed
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
two people.
They just never call it.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
And they know you're never going to call.
Yeah.
Unless you see someone get like speared.
Yeah.
You can't.
Even then, they might not.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to do with them. I think they're going to get their doors blown off this weekend
Who they play?
in Cincinnati on Sunday Night Football.
I would love for them to win that game, but
Me
they
too.
don't give me any hope of
I-
winning that game.
I
It
took-
looked like they were going to run away with that game.
Yeah.
But they just. And also credit to the Bucks. Like I think the Bucks
Sure.
do. Like they
Yeah.
kind of.
They suck.
They just can't move the ball.
Right,
They
so
can't
they-
throw the
they
ball. Everywhere else, they're pretty decent. I mean, except for running the ball too.
Rashad White looked better.
He
looked
looked
better.
better. Yeah.
but,
That was the only thing working for them for a while.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was also the only thing they were doing. So
that game was weird.
That was a very weird.
Mike Evans didn't catch the ball.
So they didn't try to
He
let
didn't
him
throw
catch.
it for him.
He was getting doubled all game.
You know what's crazy is that I said the Godwin pick, right? I picked 50 plus. He did in his regular line at 56.
Well, it actually
Yeah.
came down to 54 and a half. He ended on 54.
Wow.
Wow, that's killer.
Yeah, I was the lone wolf that lost last week. It's fine. Mike Evans, whatever. You're on the hit list, but
Yeah, it was rough, dude. But he got 3.
yeah,
The ladder moved on. That was crazy, by the way.
that was. But
I thought he was out of
I
bounds on that
I
third
couldn't
catch.
believe it.
I was like, wow, thank God.
Oh, that's a face mask.
He got it.
And a first down.
They didn't call it.
Wait, did we not call it a face mask?
No.
Okay, his head got ripped off. All right. But yeah, I took the Bengals -1.5 when it opened. It's already up to 3.
I like the pick.
Yeah.
So I don't want to move too far ahead, but like Burrow looks like he's
he's back.
fine.
we can talk about it right now. I mean, they're all the way back. They had a bye week at the right time, and
Yeah.
they were able to sneak a couple wins that maybe they shouldn't have won,
Yeah.
but they were able to get them in their win column. And this was their stretch right here, right? Go to Niners, home for the Bills, where it's like, okay, maybe they can falter a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, if you go 2-0 in the stretch, it's like, oh
yeah,
my goodness.
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
because they're gonna be playing some good ball. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And, that sucks.
Yeah.
But credit to them.
Credit to them, man. Their defense is pretty good.
Their
too.
defense is very good.
Yeah.
Which sucks. It all sucks.
It all stinks.
They're clicking.
I'm just saying, I had him as my Super Bowl pick.
Loser.
I know I stink. But this is kind of what I thought they'd do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, by the way, NFL record for completion percentage right now.
Really?
As of right now, he's like 0.1% over Drew Brees' record.
It's interesting.
Well,
It's the way the defenses play now. With the too high shell,
Mm-hmm.
they allow you to just complete passes underneath and just say.
I was gonna say it's an average yard like 3.
Yeah, his average. But that's the other thing too.
But
is
that's not a him.
Yeah.
Like to give him credit, which I don't like to do, but that's not a him issue. Is his average? Well, part of it was with his injury, but like Mahomes' average depth target had to come down because all they see is this too high safety shell, and it's like, well, you got to go on 12 play drives to beat us, and so they just take what's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Niners losing 3 in a row. They are kind of dead for the 1 seed. I wouldn't say like the Eagles
Yeah,
probably
I
aren't
don't
going to
think
lose
they're gonna-
3 times. Oh, what in the world? We need a camera on the game as we're watching this because like he
Either
was
way.
down.
Either way, it's 10-yard sack. Go sack. Oh. Tripped over his own running back. Honestly, tell me the ball's out.
yeah.
It wasn't.
He lost it on the way down.
No.
Okay.
But,
It's killer.
but yeah, Niners losing 3 in a row. Like I said, I think they're kind of dead for the 1 seed, which is tough for them.
They are not winning the division right now.
I know.
The Seahawks are, which is insane. I think the Seahawks are fakers. I'm not really
They
buying
are.
them.
They should have
But-
won this week.
But they could definitely win that division. If they steal one against the Niners.
They still play them twice, yeah.
Yeah, they could definitely win that division.
I don't know, because I don't know how
Man, I love Mac.
Oh, fumble.
Okay, all right, yeah. Yeah, I think the Eagles are pretty clearly the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And
even though they're not playing great,
yeah, like so that's kind of, and when we get to the Ravens too, I'll talk about that too. But I think this week I kind of realized something. Like, even though it's ugly, if you're still winning the game, it's so hard to win in the NFL.
it is. No, absolutely.
You know,
there's
yeah.
an art to winning football. Don't
Right.
get me wrong.
And they've won ugly so many times. It's like, I mean, they're good. Like, they're
Yeah.
so good, you
Yeah.
know? Like, this is like the 4th time, 5th time this season where it's like, you know, the Eagles really should have lost that game.
I think it's just when you compare it to last year, right? The
Yeah.
Eagles were so dominant. And
Right.
you're like, we're not seeing that.
That's true.
And so it's like, how is that a Super Bowl team? But then you look at the NFC and it's like, well,
They're the
if
only
the
team.
Niners aren't going to, like this week it's going to tell us a lot, Eagles-Cowboys.
Yeah.
I don't think the Cowboys are very, like, on that level yet, but
Yeah.
maybe they show up.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the Lions, if they can figure it out.
they need to, like, they beat the Chiefs on opening night. I understand.
Yeah.
Like, Lions fans
I'm
would be
not-
mad that I would say this, but they need to show me a next level as well.
Right.
Because even they let the horrible Raiders hang around in that game.
Yeah. They turned the ball over 3 times.
They outgained them by 300 yards.
Yeah.
Like, they should have won by 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're trusting Gibbs a little more.
Well, with Montgomery out,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. Like, they do need Montgomery, don't
They
get me
d-
wrong.
they-
They,
yeah.
need
They
someone
need-
that can
yeah,
get you
they
4 yards of carry.
And they also need someone not named Amon-Ra St. Brown to throw the ball to.
I will say, we didn't mention this trade because it's somewhat under the radar, but I do like the pickup of Donovan Peoples-Jones
I didn't
for
know
that.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that, apparently.
Yeah.
So they got DPJ, which
He's
I've always
deep threat.
liked him. And if they don't, like, Jameson Williams isn't doing a ton right now, so throw him.
They're
in.
trying so hard.
They
They
might,
are.
yeah, they are. I think it might just be more motivation. Like,
Sure.
Jameson Williams, like, dude, like, you kind of stink right now. Like,
He's had such a weird start to his
He's
career.
got a drop problem.
He does.
yeah.
So I think that, like, DPJ helps. Like, he's a deep
Yeah.
threat. He's proven that he can catch balls down the field.
Don't know where he's been this year, but I guess he's buying Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
Was he on the Browns?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And the Browns, I don't think they're capable. I don't think Deshaun's capable of throwing
No.
deep, and PJ Walker is.
PJ Walker.
Yeah. So, I think that's a sneaky acquisition that can
Yeah.
help them. But yeah, absolutely, they need someone other than Amon-Ra that can move. Laporta's been good, but like they run similar routes. Like,
Yeah.
Porter's very good.
yeah.
Like, the Eagles would be favored by 10 if they're playing the Lions on a neutral field, I feel like.
I mean, it wouldn't be 10. I think it'd be 4.5,
Really?
6.
Wait, who?
The Eagles. I think it'd be like 8.5.
Nah.
No.
You don't
It'd be-
think
I
so?
think
It'd be under a touchdown. Maybe 6.5.
Under a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It'd be like maybe 4.5, between 4.5 and 6, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like I look around, like the Eagles but they do have to beat Dallas because Dallas could win the division the same way because no one else in the NFC is good.
Mm-hmm.
So they can just keep winning games. Huh?
If Dallas doesn't,
They're going to.
if Dallas doesn't hiccup against the Cardinals, like they're in a real good spot
Yeah.
to get the 1 seed. But
Yep.
they're Dallas.
But they did, and they did.
Yeah, they are Dallas after all.
Yeah. So another great slate. NFL, college football, awesome weekend of football.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs just didn't show up in Denver. Mahomes was sick allegedly.
Yeah.
I was promised a snow game.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so funny when they show the foot of snow in the stadium, and then by the time the game kicks off, there's nothing.
Yeah.
But that was ugly. Denver's defense all of
Yeah.
a sudden.
What they're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, all of a
Yeah.
sudden though.
Don't look now. They've won 2 in a row.
They have.
We buried them.
I'm glad we weren't burying them too much where we were betting against them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I still don't think they make any noise. Their schedule is also super rough, by the way.
But like we were talking about them, like, oh, let's go against them on Survivor,
Mm-hmm.
like a few
Yeah.
times.
Well, the Bills
I still will.
next week.
But I'm saying we could have gotten like snapped.
Yeah.
On like a bad one.
Yeah.
Like the Lions, we would if we saw the Lions at home against the
Against the
Broncos,
Broncos.
we would have taken that probably at some point. Like if
Yeah.
that was one of our contentions.
Might not be good. I don't know. I'd like to see. They need to continue to show this. Like the win against the Packers was kind of luck sack.
Yeah.
Their defense played well, but
yeah.
you know. So yeah, ever since giving up 70, their defense has been pretty good.
I think part of it's also Javante getting healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He was
so
great.
showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, he destroyed me in fantasy. I'm actually really sad about that.
But yeah, the Chiefs. I'm just gonna kind of throw it out for them, but
Yeah, like, I mean, it doesn't move the needle, really. For them.
no. But you can't lose that many games in the AFC. So
That's true.
if you want the bye, so we'll see.
Gotcha.
Right.
We'll see how that shakes out.
Ravens.
Ravens, hey,
There is a
their schedule is just ridiculous.
Their
That's
schedule's
the problem.
ridiculous. Low-key Jags.
Yeah, I was thinking Jags.
Jacksonville, Jaguars.
They're playing very well right now. Kind of. Like,
Yeah, they're beating who they should be.
yeah,
Them beating the Bills was key for them.
yeah. That was a horrible schedule spot for the Bills, but
Yeah.
Jags did what they're supposed to do.
I know we're not survived yet. Were the Jags the ones who took you guys out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who'd they lose to?
The Texans.
The Texans.
They got blown out by the Texans. It was
Yeah.
not competitive. But also, it was one of those weird games. Like, they got a blocked field goal.
yeah.
They
Everything was going wrong.
they went for it on 4th down like
Yeah,
twice.
I remember that now.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a good spot for him.
Good turnaround.
Yeah, they've won 5 in a row.
Humbled.
So, yeah, ETN's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, they were out. That was
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah, that was dirty.
He's just a very good player. But yeah, so I think this is the first time Denver's beaten the Chiefs in like 17 games. So good for
It
them.
was. It was like a
Wow.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Yeah.
since like 2016 or
Yeah.
15 or something insane.
Well, that was when they were good with Alex Smith, I guess.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's the thing about the Chiefs. It's underrated. They've made the playoffs, I think, like 11 times in a row or something ridiculous because they had Alex Smith, and they were always like a competent team before.
We need
Bowling
this.
Green had first and goal from the 2. It is third and goal from the 10 now.
No sacks.
penalties.
No sacks.
Yikes.
Speaking of we mentioned the Texans. Panthers get their first win over the Texans.
Woo!
Good for the
I think
Panthers.
they'll get a few more.
They'll
They-
get a
They,
couple.
they have a decently easy schedule.
Yeah, they do.
Like where it's like their kind of matchups, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Their offense still not very good.
I think even this week they have one of those matchups.
I didn't think they were that bad, like as bad as I know they were 0-6, but I didn't think they were 0-6 bad.
No.
You know, like I thought they'd be like 2-4, 1-5.
Yeah.
You know,
Miles
have no
Sanders is
losses.
dead.
Oh,
Sanders
he
is
is.
bad. He's done
What?
with.
Why? I don't understand.
I don't know what
We
happened.
need it.
Oh, it's a touchdown.
Let's go. I
All
love
part
Max.
of the plan.
They were too close, you know?
That's so funny.
Colts. See the Colts at home. They could definitely win that game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Colts are a
They have
weird
a few
team
of
right
those.
now.
I know. I liked them. But they've lost 3 straight.
Their defense has been bad.
Defense has been terrible.
Gardner puts them in bad spots sometimes, but he also moves the ball.
Yeah,
Very
they've
interesting.
scored a lot of points.
And Jonathan Taylor, he had what?
What's going on with that?
95 rushing yards in the first half, and then he had
Didn't touch the
0.
ball again.
Yeah.
Or maybe he had 1 carry. I don't understand.
I think
It's incredibly frustrating to own Zach Moss on my fantasy team because I keep
Yeah.
benching him.
He scored.
Yep, and he
Yeah.
keeps doing that. It's very weird. Colts are a weird team,
And it's not working for them. If it was working for them,
Right.
sure.
right.
but
Whatever.
it sucks. I wish we were watching it. Like when you go into the Colts season, if this was happening for them, like losing all these games, but you're putting up points with Anthony Richardson at quarterback, you're like, this is the best season ever.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a good draft pick, and we also know that we probably have our quarterback. But doing this with a backup, and he's hurt for the season, and you're still losing, like you just can't be having very much fun.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
All right,
That
you
kinda
guys,
sucks.
you guys keep going. I'm going to turn on the World Series.
okay.
Okay.
We mentioned the. I want to talk about the game with Andrew, so I'll wait for him to come back.
Okay.
But the Packers are very bad.
Yes, the Packers are terrible, and I'm a sucker for them, so it makes me very sad.
I bet the Packers this week.
Oh.
I thought it was the perfect spot. Like, everyone loves Minnesota after they beat the Niners. Packers, no, they couldn't be worse. Turns out they can.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
What's going on with your TV?
SD, okay? It's a standard definition TV.
So it's the 5th inning. Do we have a score?
Yeah.
No.
Uh,
No runs.
Looks like no runs.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
That's
Gallon, 59.
Gallon. That
Wow.
second column. Huh.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Wow,
What
that's
was it?
cool.
That would be awesome.
I
Now there's
missed
going to
it.
be. Andrew said it.
That was no hits.
There was a no hitter in the World Series last year, but it was combined. So yeah, that'd be fun.
I didn't see any pitches yet.
I didn't either. It's the 5th inning.
59.
Okay.
Yep.
We're on pace.
That's
Yeah,
the
man.
bottom. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be awesome.
That
What a
would
way
be
to get
awesome.
your team back
Yeah,
into the series.
Kind of need him to go shove.
Kind of need some run support,
Is
though.
this
He
their-
does.
They get one more in Arizona after this, right?
No.
It goes back to
Goes
Texas.
back to Texas, which maybe is a good thing.
Man, it's the
Probably.
5th already? What time is it?
Oh,
Woof.
it's 9:30.
All right.
The only thing I want to mention with you, Andrew, is I was watching the Steelers Jags, and all I could think about was how you're just going to come on here because the Steelers are going to come back again. Same game script every week. They couldn't do it this time. They're a bad
Not
team.
this time. They are a bad team.
How I've described it before, right? They can win any game. I think that's apparent
Sure.
every week.
They're bad.
It sucks.
They're
It
bad.
sucks.
And again, we'll get into this when we talk about the Titans Steelers, but they are statistically not good. But they're 4-3.
I think Minka changes everything, too.
He could.
Yeah.
Because TJ Watt's going to have to do a ton.
And
Yeah.
Pickett's playing, which is, I think, bad for them this week.
Probably.
What was his injury?
It was a rib thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to fade
Yeah.
right through.
I figured they just let. Whatever.
We can get into that game because I think that's it for this
I
past
think we're
week.
good.
Big slate. Seahawks at Ravens. Dolphins Chiefs are in Germany. I wish that game wasn't in Germany.
Yeah. That's
But I guess
dumb.
it's in neutral. By the way, the Chiefs aren't going until tomorrow. Dolphins are already there. If anyone cares about travel,
I do care. It's
I-
it's only worked.
it's only
Uh-oh.
worked. So maybe first half, maybe full game. I don't know. But the Dolphins haven't shown anything against a good team, so it's a very interesting balance in that one. It'll be fun to watch.
Tyreek.
Yeah,
Mm.
little revenge game, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I put Rams at Packers here because I think loser is dead.
Yeah, loser's dead.
I think they're both already
I think
dead.
I think the
NFC.
Rams have a fighting chance.
But
Yeah,
it's
'cause
just-
they're 3-5 to get to 4-5.
But Stafford's got the hand thing.
Right.
True.
So it could be ripping.
But if they rip this one away, maybe Stafford gets healthy into next week.
Yeah.
You know,
so I think they're probably both dead. But I just found
Probably
it,
both dead,
You know,
Yeah,
Rams could find a way. I think.
that's the fork game.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
The four.
Cowboys at Eagles, like I mentioned. Bills at Bengals, like I mentioned, is Sunday Night Football, and then Chargers at Jets is Monday Night Football, and we said Jets are probably going to win just because that's how it goes.
What's Sunday again? I'm sorry.
Sunday night is Bills at
Bills, Bengals. Probably a really good game, honestly.
Bengals. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Over under DeMar Hamlin highlights.
So many. So many. Do you think I'll show it again? I hope they don't.
No, they definitely won't show it.
But I do wonder if they even talk about it.
They will. Oh my god,
you
it's gonna be a
wouldn't
huge
want them to.
storyline. It'll be uncomfortable.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
They're gonna show a picture of everybody surrounding.
Yeah, maybe.
That's definitely coming.
And somehow the Bengals are going to take it as a slight against them and play really hard because they think the NFL hates them.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can talk Thursday Night Football this week. Steelers or Titans at Steelers.
Wait, can we put a fork in them?
Sure.
Because we haven't done it in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'll be really quick. Packers.
Yeah, I like
Packers. Put a fork in them.
Yeah, I agree. They're bad.
Yeah. So we had forks in the Bears. We had forks in the Cardinals. We had forks in. We didn't have them in the Raiders. The Raiders. Put a fork.
Absolutely.
The Giants.
Yep.
Put a fork in them. And I think that's it, team.
So we're adding the Packers.
The Bears. So we're adding the Packers. I'm gonna throw a cool one in there. Vikings. We putting a fork in the Vikings?
No.
No.
We're going to have to see if they do anything.
I think
Yeah.
Dobbs is capable enough to beat the Bears and teams of that caliber to
That's
get them to
true.
like 8 or 9 wins.
And the Packers.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So,
Last one.
What's happening?
first and third.
Ah, okay, cool.
Two outs.
Ooh. Last one. The Texans.
No. Not ready to do it.
That's it.
They're 3 and 4, right?
3 and 4.
Then no.
All right, one more. Fine. Colts. Putting a
Yeah.
fork in the Colts.
Yeah.
Are they also 3 and 4?
They're 3 and 5.
They're done.
I think I'll hold off on the Colts.
One more.
I think they're
one more. They're at the Panthers.
They could win that game, but I still think they're done.
One more.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk Titans at Steelers for Thursday Night Football. Best bets. I think Will Levis might come crashing back down to reality, but I don't know for sure. So it's a very interesting game. It does seem like we're getting Pickett, not Mitch Trubisky. I'll lead off my best bet. I haven't lead off in a few weeks. I have two that I would like to play both of.
Oh,
but
really?
I'll let you decide. Because one is very juiced, so I didn't want to leave it as the only play.
Okay.
So the very juiced play is Deontay over 4.5 receptions. It's minus 160.
Okay.
I always like Deontay receptions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably definitely going to get that, honestly.
That's what I think too. His targets are insane when Pickett plays.
And he looked good.
You have to you want to throw on Tennessee, like they're better run defense than pass defense.
Yeah.
And they make you pass. So I like Deontay quite a bit. I was surprised when I saw 4.5. So I like that a bit, but it is minus 160. So my official, I guess, play is Chigakonkwo over 2.5 receptions.
Oh.
I don't know any stats about him.
So he's hit that in 5 of 7.
We
Like
love
to hear
we
that.
love that.
Yeah.
It's been close. Like there's a lot of threes in there. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But he runs a ton of routes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think Levis is going to come down to earth a little bit. So I think my theory is they're going to be chasing a little bit. I think the Steelers are going to get up ahead.
Okay.
And I think they're going to be throwing from behind a bit. My only concern on him is if he stays in to block too much to try to help with TJ Watt.
Doubles are possible.
But he hasn't run less than 60% of routes like all season.
Okay.
So I don't think that they're going to have as much success just throwing deep to Hopkins this game and things of that nature. So I think he's going to be looking for a safety valve.
Yeah.
Did he hit it last week?
Yeah, four catches on 6 targets.
6 is good.
6 is good. And they need a second option in that offense.
Burks has been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okonkwo had a lot of hype coming in. He's had a little bit of a drop problem, but he's very he's kind of a mismatch for everybody. So I think he's gonna, like I said, I think the deep stuff won't be quite there, and I think they're gonna be behind. So I like having Okonkwo there.
Cool.
My play is super gross. Unlike you, I did not have a good read on this game. The over-under is 36.5. And honestly, no, I'm not going to do it. Jeez. But if I was going to pick one, it would be under. Like, I think this is going to be a super gross slugfest defensive game. I like you. I think Will Levis takes a step back. You know me. I looked at all the quarterback props. They don't have pass attempts or completions for Will Levis up, which
That's
stinks. And Kenny Pickett's are like terrible. So the line for him is 31.5. He's done that in one game against the
That's a lot.
49ers.
That's a lot.
So
Because they just run obnoxious.
they're just ugly. And his completions was 20.5. He's hit that one time against the 49ers. So Vegas doesn't want you to take it, or they want you to take the under. So I really just don't have a good read. I wanted to take Like you, I have a juiced play, which is Pittsburgh under 21.5 points. If you buy a couple, the line is 18.5. 21.5 under, I like, but it's
Okay.
minus 166, which is super
No, that's
gross.
fine.
That's not my play, though.
Okay.
I can do that one.
No, I'm good.
No.
Your other play.
You like the
Whatever
other
it is.
one?
Whatever
Okay.
it is.
So the other play is Will Levis
Oh, God.
over 9.5 rushing yards.
I saw that one.
The reason I like it, he ran 7 times, and I get a
Oh.
lot of times it was like quarterback sneaking, but still it's an attempt. We'll take that.
Kneel downs.
I think some kneel down. I'm not sure. I actually didn't look into that. But when you look at the Steelers against all the quarterbacks they've played, okay, the Steelers have allowed that to hit 5 of 7 times. The 2 quarterbacks that didn't hit it were Matthew Stafford with 7, and then Jimmy Garoppolo with 8.
That'll also do it.
But those quarterbacks, you don't expect them to run.
Exactly.
Will Levis is a rookie. I'm anticipating he's going. Okay, I was looking at the Steelers' defensive ranks. They are not good defensively against the pass, and they're not good defensively against the run. But they get a lot of sacks, and they turn the ball over. They're an opportunistic defense.
Yeah. Sorry.
So if Will Levis can throw the ball well, he's going to have some opportunities to run. So I think he might be able to get there. If he doesn't throw the ball well, he's going to want to run the ball more. Rookie quarterbacks, they tend to run the ball more.
Yeah.
This one is super ugly, but I like him to get the over.
I like it.
Like a lot of quarterbacks they've played who are kind of like the similar structure. Like Lawrence hit it last week. Who was the other one? Deshaun Watson hit it. He had 20. So, and the line has come down.
Do you think they have rush attempts for him?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, I can look it up.
Probably not.
I was just thinking maybe we get lucky if it's like 2.5 and he takes a couple kneels,
True.
But I
Yeah.
doubt they would have that because of that possibility.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that play, actually. I
Yeah.
don't mind it.
I like it.
I should have mentioned, you've been mentioning Minka being out, but that was a factor in my play as well. Just not, I think he hurts that defense quite a bit. So, go ahead.
No, it's okay. What's the line on this game?
3.
The line is 3.
For him.
Sometimes 2.5.
Steelers.
Sometimes 2.5.
So favored, but they're.
Are you-
I was gonna do
Pittsburgh?
prop or something, but no, we're not. We're not.
I almost came in here with Pittsburgh -2.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't at that. I guess I would do money line, just take the juice because I assume the juice would be like minus 160.
150-ish,
Yeah.
160,
No, because I like the prop. I'm doing Nick Westbrook. Akina. So his receiving yards is only 17.5. So I'm taking the over on that. He plays like 50% of the snaps. I hate him as a player,
No, he
Yeah.
sucks.
but it's just opportunities there. Last 3, he's 4 catches, 3 catches, 5 catches, 58 yards, 25 yards, 51 yards.
Wow.
That's. I thought he hadn't been playing like at all.
Yeah.
So, I know he caught the 4th touchdown last week, but that was a dime too. That throw.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm cool with that.
Plenty of targets, enough catches.
And he can do it
1
on
for 20.
Yeah, he can
Yeah.
do it on one of them.
Yeah. Don't love it.
So we got all Titans props, but we like the Steelers. That's an interesting.
Yeah.
I say we throw Deontay in there. Also,
You think?
yeah.
Let's rock and roll.
I also liked Derrick Henry rush yards. 71.5. That was the one I almost came in here with.
Let's just do all 5. And Steelers
Steelers
money line.
-3. The Derrick Henry one doesn't match any of our props.
Good.
That's my own. Sure. All right.
Good.
Whatever.
He's hit it in 5 of 7 games. That's fine. We don't have to do it.
What if he's mad he didn't get traded and just sits down on the football field
Maybe.
in protest? All right. I don't know. I guess we'll decide. But play them all. Round robin. We gotta talk Survivor.
Yeah. Oh God.
We gotta wrap this up too.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. We'll hurry. Survivor. Saints. Goodbye.
Yep. Good night.
But the Browns.
Maybe.
I think the Browns are a trap.
Am I a little scared of Clayton too?
I'm not.
I am.
I'm not.
But
I'm not scared of Tyson Bagent either. I get that.
Man.
Saints are definitely playing better at the moment.
So the Browns get Chicago.
They do.
Week 15.
But look at the Saints schedule.
Yeah, the Saints.
well, who does Saints get?
And I also like them all of a sudden. So the Saints, they're at Minnesota next week. Then they're on a bye. At Atlanta, Detroit at home, Carolina at home, Giants at home, at Rams, at Tampa Bay, Atlanta at home. So Carolina, the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Giants were super done by then. Both home games.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
Sounds kind of stupid now to not take the Browns.
no, I think Cleveland might lose that game. I also
That's
think
the thing.
I
This
also
week
think
huge.
they're going to be all in Cleveland.
I
So we
agree.
should go with the smaller pick. I think we'll.
That's fine.
But I'm never.
I don't have as much of a lean this week as I did last week, even though no one listened to me.
We did not listen to Ben, but he was right. He had I actually would, I want to give you your props
Yeah.
because that game went more how you described it would than the Ravens over the Cardinals.
For sure.
How that
Yeah.
was described to have gone. So, I'll give you your flowers on that one.
Yeah, it's fine.
You nailed it.
Could use the Ravens this week, but we used them.
We
so.
use the Raiders this week. But
Would we have used the Ravens this week?
I just was of the opinion that it would have been nice to have the option.
That's true. Yeah.
that's well. Remember, I was saying that too. I was like, we should only pick the Ravens if we're not going to use them
Right.
this week.
Yeah.
They're the number one EV option on the grid, like by far. Like to levels that I have not seen EV
It's
go.
because they're a 5-point spread, and no one really
And no
trusts
one-
it because they like the Seahawks.
The Seahawks could win.
And Seahawks
Sure.
could win.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I think
I don't either.
I think we actually smack them, but I could see us still.
I actually think
Yeah.
we smacked.
It's
I'll-
Browns or Saints. I still put the Falcons down just in case Jaron Hall does start for the Vikings.
Even if, call me crazy, even if Dobbs starts, I almost like that more. I trust Dobbs more,
It's tough, yeah.
but a new system in half.
Yeah,
of
like he
league,
just got there. Yeah.
yeah, it's tough
Like-
to trust the Falcons, but I trust Heineke somewhat. Yeah, not really, but
that's such a sneaky play.
I know, but like that's the play that wins you this.
is
thing.
it?
this
though?
could be-
like what's the projected?
Under
Dude,
5.
I'm looking under 5, 2.3.
Oh, really?
1.3 for Baltimore, 2.3 for Atlanta, 1.2 for the Chargers. That's why I mentioned them.
Someone's losing.
It's all right. That's what I think. I think Cleveland or New Orleans.
Because
someone's
you
gonna lose.
can't like Cleveland and New Orleans
the
aren't
Ravens.
your top 50% team that you just lock in. They're the teams that are okay,
Right.
and playing bottom barrel teams, but like
Right.
you're not crazy shocked when they lose.
Right. Like I just think Cleveland can lose to anyone.
Yes.
Like
Some
New
Saints.
Orleans is hitting, but they're hitting their
They are hitting-
stride.
They are.
They've played better.
I think they're a good team, but
Eh.
but
Are
they make mistakes, and sometimes they don't move the ball on offense.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
They have so much talent, though.
You
and
know who else has so
Chicago
much
looks
talent?
So bad.
The Raiders.
No, they don't.
I'm sorry. There's no shot I'm picking that team to
was up
win
with them?
any NFL game for the rest of the season.
What was up with them throwing Hunter Renfro like? For the
I don't
first
Because
think
they're
so.
absurd. They don't know what they're doing.
I don't. A sneaky play that I do like
The
in like
Raiders.
super deep ones is New England. New England is home against Washington. I
No.
think they win that game.
We can't. We were just talking about
I-
how we were going against them.
I know, but I think
They're bad.
they're so is Washington.
Sure.
I think the door's out.
In my opinion, it's too early for us to pick bottom 50% teams,
That's fair.
and they are a bottom 50%
Yeah, no,
team.
I'm not doing New England. Get out of here.
But the Falcons are a bottom 50% team.
They are.
I mean, New Orleans could be.
So
Cleveland. could
They're
be.
right above, in my opinion. They're
I
like
agree.
right there.
New Orleans did beat.
Cleveland, I don't.
I'd prefer to take the Saints. But if someone has a good case for Cleveland,
I have
will
to
hear them
see
out.
what our weeks we pick the Saints, because I'd have to see what our options are.
I can't remember, but I like
Um,
having their options later.
You could
Because
use
Cleveland, I don't really trust other than that Bears game.
No, we're not taking the Browns again.
You could use Detroit that week. You could use Cincinnati.
We're
that
probably going
week.
to use Detroit earlier though.
Yeah.
Because that's not till like week 15.
Mm-hmm.
It's very it's a tough call because they seem like shoo-ins, but they're not.
No.
Which is I think where you get caught.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
You gave us Denver last
Fine.
week.
You did give. Wow. the flowers.
I don't really have anything this week.
Well, then what about what we're saying?
Yeah. Which one would you
Oh,
pick?
it's a tough week.
This is the week, in my opinion.
It
I
could
think
be.
so
It
too.
could be.
I think it is the week.
It
yeah.
could also be a week where
They-
the top two just win.
Yeah.
So
But they could both lose.
they could both lose.
Which is why I don't mind,
the
New England.
Falcons.
No, I'm sorry. I'm actually super out on the Falcons.
The Raiders.
Super out on the Falcons. I think the Vikings are pretty good. Their defense is really good, and the Atlanta is they're this close from punting Arthur Smith. If they don't make the
I
playoffs
think he's
this
a good
year,
coach.
I don't know. I go back and forth on him. But if they lose this game,
That means he's fighting for the badge.
they just lost a game that they should have won against Tennessee. You know.
Yeah. And when Heineke came in, they looked a lot better, and then Van Jefferson dropped a horrible drop on fourth
Oh,
down.
that was bad.
That they should have continued their drive and might have won. Like, they're hungry. They lost. Coming off a loss.
Wang.
I'm out of Atlanta. No thanks.
I don't know. It's a hard one. We go early. Will Levis.
I honestly don't hate the Steelers if we're being. No.
Over the New England.
I can't go against new Tom Brady. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, guys.
Okay,
It's-
we're
I
picking
guess
one
it's
to
Saints
two,
or
aren't
Browns.
we?
Yeah, well, yeah.
We're picking one of the two.
I mean, the Bears are horrible,
The Bears are terrible.
and Tyson Bagent's not good.
Yeah.
that first throw was juicy.
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
And they threw a touchdown right after that, but it got dropped.
That's yeah.
They just fell out of the game plan right
They
there.
did. They did.
They're just.
They're also stupid.
And they're not well.
Roshan didn't play till the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you realize this, but it like halfway through the game, when they were down like 20 points already, then they decided to start running the ball.
Yeah.
But it was working.
Yeah.
Now maybe it's because they were down so much, but I'm afraid they could get into that and actually have success doing that,
Yeah.
especially against teams not as good like the Browns. That's harder to get points.
Can you just look up next week's schedule? I'm just curious. Next week's Browns Ravens. I'm curious about look ahead spots.
Browns, Ravens, Atlanta gets Arizona. So all the teams that we would consider picking.
Yeah.
Don't catch them to look ahead.
New Orleans.
It matters, guys. It matters.
New Orleans is at Minnesota, so probably not.
Browns Ravens matters.
Atlanta is at Arizona.
Nope.
New England is, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
It's a look ahead for us too.
Kind of, but I think the Seahawks are getting enough hype.
I think we'll take them seriously, honestly. I think if anything, we fall flat against the Browns, more so.
Well, the Browns just signed all of our castaways to their practice squad to get info. So cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes. I agree. I think the Saints makes more sense. But if it's Clayton Tune, could be
Like,
very bad.
The Browns should. I just feel better about Derek Carr compared to
PJ
PJ Walker.
I like it less if Deshaun plays though. I'm being serious about that because if he tries to play through what he had, he looked horrible last time.
Yeah,
out.
and he's also not very good anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, what really seals the deal is that somehow New Orleans is less picked than the Browns.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I like about them. It's like,
just
okay,
they have-
fine, let everybody. Like to me, the Browns are way riskier of a pick. I can't believe they're favored by more.
They have a little bit of a better future value. I think the Saints do.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the Saints, but I'm gonna keep the Falcons out there. I don't care what you say.
10-4.
But other than that, I think we're good for here.
Yep.
All right.
Saints.
Go Bowling Green.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. We'll have to check into all of our ladders. Hopefully Isaiah Stewart got 4 rebounds, but
Yeah.
like I said,
Only 8 more legs.
No, I think you hit all of them. You won.
I just started tapping the screen.
good Lord. We're going to go watch the end of this baseball game because it seems like it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, awesome football slate this weekend. Enjoy it. We will catch you next week on Hook and Batter.